the precise weight of your dream feet on the ground? Do you tend to skim along without really touching the floor? Remind yourself to look at how, or if, the sun casts shadows in your dreams. Aim to explore the laws of physics, test the way gravity behaves, and dedicate yourself to noticing every detail of your dream world. Note any differences between the dream figures that you meet in lucid versus non-lucid dreams. How do the interactions differ? Are you meeting more animals when lucid? How about wise mentor-type dream figures? Some people find that once they begin to get lucid on a regular basis, these figures start showing up more. Keep adding to your list of differences. This will help you to build up a clear picture of your dream life, as well as honing your awareness, so that the next time you are dreaming, you simply recognize the dream for what it is. Be scientific and precise. Resolve to notice even more differences and carry out new experiments the next time you get lucid. This is another way of sharpening your mental clarity and getting into the habit of noticing everything. Nothing escapes the lucid you. Practice 31. Get dream figures on your side. One thing to beware of is the uncanny ability of dream figures to distract us from staying lucid. Some even do their utmost to stop us from getting lucid. They might argue with us that this is definitely not a dream, and make us feel like idiots for even wondering. These figures could be viewed as the part of us that has doubts about the value of lucid dreaming. So if you find this happening, it might help to work on dissolving any unhelpful assumptions, doubts, fears, and mental blocks you may have around getting lucid, as explained in Chapter 1. The good news is that dream figures can be amazingly helpful once we get them on our side. In non-lucid dreams, I've had people wink at me and say, "Well, this is a dream, so..." And then they wait with a twinkle in their eye for me to get it and become lucid. Other times the cue is subtler. A fireman might shimmy part-way up a ladder and then fly the rest of the way, laughing down at me until I understand that he's showing me this is a dream. Other times, dream figures only have to give me a certain look of power and presence for me to realize that I'm dreaming. Dream animals show up for me very often in this way, appearing before me and fixing me with a conscious gaze that instantly catapults me into lucidity. Whenever I see anyone practicing yoga or other energy work in a dream, this gets me lucid fast. Sometimes dream objects morph under my eyes to show me this is a dream. It's up to us to act on lucidity cues like these and not let them slip past unnoticed. We can enlist the help of dream figures in getting and staying lucid by treating them respectfully in all our dreams, and by actively asking for their help either in the lucid dream itself or before we go to sleep at night. Lie down, relax, and reach out mentally with strong intent to all the people, animals, landscapes, and dream objects you'll meet in your dreams that night. Call out to them, "Please help me to get lucid. Show me that I'm dreaming. Thank you." Gratitude is a strong way of sealing intent. Remember to comb through your dreams the next morning to see who or what tried to help you get lucid that night, and send them thanks if they did. Practice 32. Shift your gaze. Sometimes lucid dreams have a disconcerting habit of dissolving if we stare at something for too long. Some people even use staring as a technique to wake themselves up when they're ready to end the dream. When the lucid dream is stable, there's no need to think about keeping your eyes moving around the scene, but if you feel lucidity slipping and the dream growing faint around the edges or trembling, that's the time to remember to flick your gaze around. Avoid prolonged eye contact with a dream figure if you feel lucidity slipping. Instead, allow your lucid gaze to alight on different objects. Glance up at the stars and then down at a pebble. Allow your concentration to vamp up as you're doing this to sharpen the dream and restore stability. It can feel astonishing, as if your conscious gaze is stitching the dream scene back together again. Practice 33. Spin like a whirling dervish. When you feel lucidity slipping away and the dream is dissolving in tatters around you, some lucid dreamers say that spinning your whole body around on the spot can result in the creation of a new, stable dream scene. Give it a whirl and see how it works out for you. But I have to say that for me, this technique tends to result in the entire dream scene vanishing, and I am left floating in black space. This is fine with me because the lucid void is a state of vast creative potential and deep peace, and I've grown very familiar with it and its unexpected treasures over the years. Any lucidity practice may have a different effect for different people, and testing techniques with an open mind is the best way to create your own unique lucidity program. Practice 34. Give yourself a hand. Hands are great, aren't they? So useful, even in a lucid dream. Here are 5 ways our hands can help us to stay lucid. 1. Rubbing your hands together can help you to be present in your lucid dream body and focus your attention to stabilize the dream. 2. Clapping can raise your level of mental focus. 3. Trying to put your fingers through the palm of your other hand can be an effective reality check. This quick confirmation that we are dreaming raises our awareness. 4. Touching anything in the dream solidifies its presence, and you'll notice this stability spreading to other elements of the dream as well. 5. The simple act of remembering to find your hands in a dream is one of the best-known lucidity triggers, and it's also a useful dream stabilization technique. This last technique appeared in the books of Carlos Castaneda in the 60s. It certainly worked for me to find my hands in my dreams when I was deep into my lucidity explorations at university. I used to raise them before my face and try to remain unfazed by the fact that they often looked nothing like my actual hands, translucent or huge and furry. Then I'd use them to stabilize the dream by lifting my gaze to the dream scene and noticing every detail before looking back at my hands. I'd repeat this until the lucid dream was rock solid. Then I'd go and play in it. Try setting an intention to find your hands in your dreams tonight, and then use your hands in all these different ways to test your reality and stabilize your lucid dream. Let's put our hands together for hands. Practice 35. Activate your brain with mental arithmetic. Even if mathematics isn't your thing, doing a few simple sums in a lucid dream can really boost your mental alertness and result in a nice, bright, stable dream environment. Even though a tiny percentage of whiz kids successfully use their lucid dreams to work out complex equations or create computer code, for most of us it's best to keep the math simple because it takes a lot more concentration to juggle numbers in a lucid dream than it does by day. If you attempt something too complex, you risk forgetting all about staying lucid and disappearing, non-lucidly, down a mathematical wormhole. Try something like 7 times 7 equals 49, or branch out into simple addition such as 9 plus 5 equals 14. This wakes up your brain and increases your awareness. Practice 36. Talk to dream people, objects, and animals. People, objects, and animals are vital parts of the dream, and interacting with them can simultaneously raise our lucidity and teach us a great deal about ourselves and our dream world. Whenever the lucid dream seems sparser and less vibrant, get sociable. It doesn't matter if there's nobody there. Turn and talk to a tree root, or strike up a conversation with a skyscraper. This can be a wonderful way both to sharpen your lucid focus and to discover more about your dream images, people, and animals. Ask, "Do you have a message for me?" or What do you represent? Alternatively, you could chat them up with an honest compliment. You might remark to a dream mouse, "You have such noble whiskers." Talking to who or what we encounter in our lucid dreams connects us more strongly with the dream, and it can be fascinating to hear any responses that come our way. Even inanimate objects can speak in lucid dreams if we give them a chance. A caring question such as, "How does it feel to be a USB stick, a brick, a bathtub?" could prompt these objects to pour their hearts out to you. If you're less of a talker and more of a strong silent type, or if you don't want a dream brick sobbing on your shoulder, just stick out your tongue and lick the dream. Seriously, I know a guy called Robin who regularly uses this trick to stabilize his lucid dreams. In one lucid dream, he's on a bus. "I figure I'll solidify the dream and start licking at random places in the bus. The flavor is really strong, and I can keep that sensation with me, which makes the dream feel immortal." How cool is that? Rehearse encounters with dream figures and dream objects by taking a previous dream and writing out dialogue or practicing with a friend. That's if you can find one willing to go along with your harebrained scheme by pretending to be a rainbow butterfly or a rusty bicycle. Or try this as a pre-sleep lucidity-inducing visualization. Rehearsal is a powerful force in the lucid dreaming game because it combines intent and visualization with the expectation of success. Practice 37. Remind yourself that you are lucid in a dream. Reminding yourself of your own lucidity may sound weird, but since dreams are so compelling, it can be all too easy to forget that we're in a dream. Repeat a lucidity-enhancing mantra whenever you feel the need. I'm lucid in this dream, lucid in this dream. Set it to a tune and sing it if this helps. Singing can be a powerful force in lucid dreams, reverberating around the scene with intensity and creating a beautiful energy. Pick up an object in the dream, a piece of tree bark, a can of paint, whatever's handy. Keep hold of it as you continue to explore the dream, making sure to squeeze it or glance at it, or lick it, to remind you that this is a dream. Create an original lucidity reminder by intending to find one in your pocket or on the crown of your head and reaching for it. This can cause wonderful surprises to appear, such as a golden bean or a tiny parrot. Just train it to keep squawking, "This is a dream," and staying lucid will be a doddle. In this chapter, we've examined the beguiling nature of dreams and the importance of counterbalancing this by learning to calm our emotions when we first get lucid and perform various techniques if we feel lucidity slipping. We've explored lucid awareness as a kind of light switch with a dimmer function, something that has varying stages and intensities. I've shared my clear stabilization technique and a variety of other practices that combat the loss of lucidity and contribute valuable skills for staying lucid in dreams. We've also looked at the importance of honing our paths of observation during the day to sharpen our mental clarity. The more we get used to being highly alert in our waking lives, the easier it is to snap into a state of high lucidity in our dreams. The next chapter provides more practices for staying lucid and focuses on how we can use waking trance, creative states, and meditation to train our brains to keep on lucid dreaming. Chapter 6. Train your mind to keep on lucid dreaming. The mind is vast and incredibly potent. In some ways it's like a muscle, because the more we use it, the stronger it becomes. Lucid dreaming helps us flex our mental muscles by using sharp focus and conscious awareness while we're asleep. In becoming adept lucid dreamers, we can put to good use the mind's natural ability to enter the zone, a highly focused and creative state of consciousness. We can train ourselves to reach and maintain this state of heightened awareness, logical thought, and open-mindedness in dreams to the point that it becomes habit. We see the results of this training in the length of our lucid dreams and in the rock-solid stability of the dream. People tell me they are amazed at how natural it feels to be super-aware in a dream where lucidity feels effortless. These count among my favorite types of lucid dreams because mental energy isn't needed to stabilize the dream and is freed up for other adventures and discoveries. I can really relax into my explorations, and my level of logical thinking is sky high and stands up to scrutiny when I examine it after the dream. In one lucid dream, I took a philosophical theory about the minimal input we need to identify with an ego self and tested it by systematically reducing my sensory input, switching off my sight, olfactory and gustatory senses, hearing and physical sensations, and then worked on eliminating my sense of existing in space. At lower levels of lucidity, what we consider to be a logical thought process may sometimes be based on false assumptions or become slightly muddled, but we may only realize this once we wake up. In one lucid dream, I took paper and pen to copy down a luminous dream tree that I wanted to show others when I woke up, only to realize my mistake moments later and lay it aside, realizing, my drawing won't be there when I wake up from this dream. Within a single dream, lucidity may rise and fall and rise again. Effortless lucidity can, and does happen spontaneously, but many people have to work on raising their consciousness in order to enjoy lengthy, stable lucid dreams. How can we work with the natural power of our mind so that staying lucid in a dream is an expected and effortless outcome? This chapter explores more tricks and tips for prolonging dream lucidity, with its main focus on 3 powerful methods for training ourselves to stay lucid. 1. Experiment with creative lucid trances to simulate lucid dreaming. This trains us to become adept at balancing conscious awareness and unconscious imagery. 2. Increase mental clarity and focus through lucid dreaming-based meditation, music, and mantras. 3. Practice simple yoga poses to ground ourselves in a dream and increase our mental balance and powers of concentration. With the practices in this chapter, we continue to bring the forces of intent, clarity, and expectation, ICE, into our lives. Ice can be thought of like physical ice. Imagine a frozen lake. If the ice is thin, it'll shatter when we skate on it. Similarly, if our ice is not solid, even if we do get lucid, we'll likely wake up instantly because we won't have that solid, lucid mindset keeping the dream and ourselves steady. The more we bring the principles of ice into our lives, the more solid our lucid dreaming base becomes, so we can create a reliable surface from which to launch ourselves into lucid dreaming. Intent, clarity, and expectation are vital forces for lucid dreaming. They prime our mind to get and stay lucid. When we cultivate waking life lucidity and do reality checks at odd moments during the day, we invite focused lucidity into our daily lives. Let's start by diving into the world of creative lucid trances. Creative lucid trances. When we enter a creative lucid trance, we effectively shift our state of consciousness closer to that of our dreaming mind. This is a great skill that helps us to effortlessly extend our lucid dreaming because we get comfortable maintaining a balance between mental alertness and dream imagery. It's also a wonderful state of consciousness in its own right, leading to original ideas and inventive thoughts and imagery. When I was writing my first novel, Breathing in Colour, as part of my doctoral research into lucid dream creativity, I entered lucid trances to develop my ideas about the novel. This is not a deep trance. We are aware that we're in a trance, yet our awareness doesn't cause the trance to rupture. We remain in our creative flow, interacting with vivid inner imagery and emotions. It's very dreamlike, very lucid. Many creative writers and artists cherish the creative trance. Stephen King refers to it as a semi-dreaming state. There's plenty of overlap between lucid trances and lucid dreaming. In lucid dreams we are physically asleep, but awake in terms of awareness and mental thought processes. In lucid trances we are physically awake, but our mental functioning drifts closer to dreaming thought, and our awareness bathes in the dreamlike imagery that emerges. It's the marvellous balance between waking and dreaming consciousness in both states that can result in such wild creativity and originality. We can teach ourselves to enter creative lucid trances. In 2003, I formalized the technique I'd been using for many years and began teaching it. I call it lucid writing. It's simple. In a relaxed state, we re-enter a dream by bringing it to mind in vivid detail, then write without stopping, allowing actions and imagery to develop spontaneously. If we want to guide events, we can pick a previous dream and finish it any way we like in the lucid trance, or return to it many times and keep changing the ending. By working with a mixture of conscious awareness and unconscious imagery by day, we enhance our ability to stay lucid in our dreams. The more often we enter creative lucid trances, the more we train our mind to balance comfortably between waking and dreaming. This is similar to the idea behind techniques such as brainwave biofeedback, which improve stress responses by helping people to consciously create brain states that encourage relaxation and creativity. Lucid writing trains our mind to be alert, yet relaxed enough to continue conscious dreaming. Here's the full detail version of this core practice, complete with golden light visualization. Practice 38. The Lucid Writing Technique. 1. Before you begin, consider which dream you'd like to focus on. It's best to choose something vivid and emotional. Focus on one core image rather than a long, convoluted plot. Not only lucid dream imagery, but any vivid dream imagery is perfect as a lead-in to lucid writing. Dreams are our very own personalized mental imagery, and they are often emotionally charged and radiant. 2. Have a pen and notepad close to hand. Sit comfortably on a sofa or armchair. Close your eyes and keep them closed throughout the next steps. 3. Breathe calmly and deeply several times. Then let your breath rise and fall in its own natural rhythm. Observe the breath moving in and out like the ocean breathing. 4. Inhale deeply, and as you do so, turn your head to the right. As you exhale, allow your head to move slowly back to the center. Inhale as you turn your head to the left. As you exhale, your head returns to the center. Do this combined breathe and head movement for a while, then return your head to the center and relax. 5. Visualize golden light cascading slowly over your body from head to toe. Consciously relax each part of your body as the light bathes it: head, shoulders, chest, belly, hips, legs, and feet. Focus all your thought and energy on making this bath of light come to life. Allow any unrelated thoughts to drift past without grasping onto them. 6. When you are completely bathed in golden light, create a space in your mind, a luminous golden space. 7. Now bring your chosen dream image into this golden space. Feel it come alive with emotions, colours, and sensations. Your dream image may move and transform into something else, and you can let this happen. Stay with the flow of imagery as long as you like. 8. When you feel ready, open your eyes slightly, take up your pen, and write without stopping, without caring about spelling or punctuation, and without judging what you write. Simply let it flow out without analysing it. You might find yourself writing about a waking life memory, or extending and changing the dream story. All this is good. Let the writing go wherever it goes. If you get stuck, simply return mentally to your dream imagery and continue to write without stopping until you feel you are done. 9. If you prefer to do a variation that doesn't involve writing, continue with the medium of your choice, collaging, doodling, or speaking your observations aloud into a recording device. In the semi-dreaming state of the creative lucid trance, we combine relaxation, dreams, awareness, and writing. Staying in the trance can take skill and a certain mindset, just as staying lucid in a dream can. Irritating noises like cars roaring past the window, or intrusions like the phone ringing, can eject us from our internal focus. It's important to keep writing even if something distracts us. Even if it feels as if we suddenly have nothing to say, simply write, "I can't think of anything to write." And by the time you've written that, something else will have come into your mind. The mind is endlessly busy. If you've tried meditation, you'll know how hard it is not to think, worry, or create complicated scenarios and list to-do actions in your head. So keep your pen moving. If something happens that physically stops us from writing, like having to get up to answer the doorbell, rereading what we've written helps, or closing our eyes and re-entering the dream from the beginning, focusing our intent as we allow the imagery to come to life again. The one situation where it's best to stop writing is if something traumatic comes up in your writing that you find hard to face. Stop writing and talk to a friend or therapist. Lucid writing can result in surprising insights into our dreams. Although at first I taught it purely as a creativity technique, I quickly realized from the reactions of people in my workshops that it can also be a powerful healing tool. Lucid writing allows us to guide and interact with unconscious dream imagery in intuitive ways, without fear dominating our responses, since we know this is just a light trance that we can snap out of any time. The lack of fear and the sense that we are co-creating the imagery can generate unexpected twists in the dream story and result in deep healing. One woman explored a plane crash nightmare in her lucid writing, and because she was able to relive the scene without fear, she managed to take charge of the plane and land safely. She emerged with the startling insight that she had been feeling so victimized in her life — she was being bullied at work — that she was set on a crash course and that she needed to act immediately to take charge, save herself, and be happy again. Just as in lucid dreams, we can either guide the action in lucid writing or allow it to develop spontaneously before our conscious gaze. The more we practice the internal balance of creative lucid trances, the more adept we become at re-entering the trance if we come out of it too soon, and similar skills are needed for maintaining lucidity in a dream. Lucid dreaming-based meditation. We can increase our mental clarity and focus through lucid dreaming-based meditation, mantras, and music. These waking practices have double power because the more we focus on something while awake, the more likely we are to dream of it, and recognize that we are dreaming right now. Whenever we link a waking activity to the strong intention to become lucid in a dream, we are doing ourselves a big favor and paving the way for a higher frequency of lucid dreams. Meditation is an excellent tool for increasing mental clarity and our ability to stay focused and alert. Valuable skills that build our lucid mindset and help us to stay lucid in a dream. Here are the steps for a strong, lucid dreaming-based meditation practice. Practice 39. Meditation for clarity and lucid intent. The breath is the fastest and most direct route to the self. Take a deep, conscious belly breath now and see for yourself. Conscious breathing instantly has an effect on our mind and body. Our brain is refreshed with extra oxygen, our belly muscles relax, our heart rate slows, and our shoulders release tension. As we continue to take slow, deep breaths, our thoughts grow less hectic. We gain mental clarity, drop excessive thoughts and scenarios, and gradually begin to drift towards a light trance. Breathing is a fabulous stabilizing technique, both in waking life, to calm our emotions and help us to relax and ground ourselves in the present moment, and in lucid dreams. Breathwork is an integral part of any good meditation practice and can be incorporated either at the start of meditation to center us and calm our mind, or it can be used throughout the meditation in sync with a mantra. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take slow, deep breaths and feel your mind and body becoming more relaxed and freer. Each time you breathe in, slowly turn your head to the right, breathing slowly out as your head returns to face forward. Breathe in, turning your head to the left, and then breathe out as your head returns to face forward again. This simple head turning is one of my all-time favorite breathing practices, as it makes my head float and my consciousness instantly tunes into a more trance-like state. Choose a mantra to accompany each in and out breath, something linked to your lucid dreaming practice and your intent to become lucid in your dreams. For example, you might breathe into the words, "I am," and breathe out to lucid. Focus on these words and know they strengthen your chances of getting lucid. When you say these words in a lucid dream, they will cause the dream to stabilize and help you stay effortlessly lucid. Release the mantra when it feels a good moment to turn further inward and become very quiet and still. Observe your thoughts without getting sucked into their energy and stories. Now and again, you'll sense your thoughts quieten and you'll enter a wonderful, floaty, thought-free inner space. These are the golden moments of meditation, moments of pure awareness. Relax and allow these moments to expand. Adept meditators find that these moments lead to a state of great stillness and peace. With practice at building a relaxed, lucid mindset, these golden moments will naturally arise more often and last longer. Just like dream lucidity, it's all connected. Thoughts will at some point begin again because this is the nature of the mind. Take this as a cue to remind you to pick up your lucid dreaming mantra again, or create a new one, and return your awareness to your breath. Meditate in this natural rhythm of mantra, peace, thoughts for as long as you like, without forcing yourself to do a certain amount of time. A short but regular practice is more valuable than one giant meditation session every 3 months, so pace yourself. You could also try a candle-gazing meditation. Just be sure you don't fall asleep doing this and burn the house down. It's better to sit upright rather than lie down to keep yourself awake, as it can be trance-inducing or sleep-inducing to gaze at a flame. Light a candle and stare at the flame. Observe everything about it, the glowing core, the way it wavers in the air currents, its height and hunger, its aliveness. Focus. Notice the way the rest of your visual field goes dark as if this flame is the only thing that exists. Repeat a lucid dreaming mantra, I am lucid in my dreams. Throw in the occasional reality check. Am I dreaming now? How do I know I'm awake? When we pay conscious attention to the here and now by meditating and focusing on our breath, we create greater clarity for a lucid mindset, and this enhances our ability to stay lucid in our dreams. If possible, meditate regularly and make a lasting habit of noticing the thoughts that run through your mind during the day. This inner noticing is the core of mindfulness, and it strengthens our capacity to be alert and lucid in our lives. Music is a path to stable lucid dreams. When we mingle conscious awareness and unconscious imagery by day, we enhance our ability to stay lucid in our dreams. Music can help with this. Music fills the air with vibrations that touch everything. When I beat my frame drum, the glasses in the kitchen cabinet vibrate. My body vibrates too. My blood sings, my feet dance to the beat. If I rest my fingers on our djembe drum while my little girl plays her saxophone, I feel the drum skin vibrate in response to her rich sound. When my husband joins in on his digital piano, bringing new sounds into the room, our bodies hum with the buzz that only music can create. I hasten to add that I'm really no musician. I love music and dancing, but I've never mastered an instrument, nor have I had a single dance lesson in my life. But why would that stop me from leaping around, having fun with drums and shakers and the like? The way instruments and people vibrate together reminds me of the effect our thoughts, emotions, and intentions have on dreams. They vibrate into the heart of the dream, and the dream vibrates right back. It's intimate and intense. When we emanate an optimal vibration in a lucid dream, in terms of mental clarity tinged with curiosity and cheerful openness, lucidity is easy. The dream is stable. There is no fear, no doubting voice, no mental confusion. We can explore without worrying about losing our awareness because we're vibrating at the right level to support lucid dreaming. Explore different instruments and how they make you feel. We recently acquired a dome-like steel drum called a handpan, and yes, one of its advantages, especially for kids, is that it looks like a spaceship, but it's also really melodious and can induce a relaxing meditative state of mind. Other instruments I use in my yoga and meditation practice are Tibetan singing bowls. These have such a strong vibrating sound that a soft tap is enough to create a beautiful resonance that washes over you. Try closing your eyes to focus on the sound until it dies away. Identifying the exact millisecond when you can no longer hear the sound is another way of paying close attention to the present moment. Trance awareness can be enhanced and extended through music, and the following practices show how to link this to lucid dreaming. Practice 40. Musical trance. Music is a powerful ancient force that we can draw on or tune into to enhance lucid awareness and take us on imaginal journeys into the depths of our psyche. Choose your favorite chill-out music, or pick up a recording of Tibetan singing bowls or shamanic drumming, then lie down comfortably and travel wherever you want to go. Allow your body to grow heavy, your limbs sinking into the bed while your mind remains alert. Enter the trance through the portal of music and imagine yourself flying lucidly over fantastic dreamscapes or dancing to the beat at a lucid dream gathering. Revisit a dream that you love or allow fresh images to be created in this relaxed musical trance. Explore the feeling of lucidly navigating the imaginative spaces of your mind while the music fills your ears and vibrates throughout your body. Strongly intend and expect to have a similar lucid experience the next time you fall asleep. This musical trance can be really effective if you do it right before an afternoon nap and go directly into a wake-induced lucid dream, wild. Practice 41. Create an earworm. Drum beats or just tapping out a rhythm on the tabletop can be great for creating a lucid dreaming mantra and fixing it in your mind. My lucid dream mantras always have a particular rhythm, and some have a tune. Create your own earworm lucid dreaming mantra, one that feels catchy and fun to you. Hum it under your breath as you wait for your train, and do a reality check. Use it in moments of peace and mental clarity, and connect it all the time with the strong expectation of using it successfully in a lucid dream to stay lucid for as long as you want. Try a rhyme. Strange though it may seem, I'm awake in my dream. Or something with repetitive elements that you can set to a well-known song. Am I dreaming now, dreaming now, dreaming now? Sing it to yourself as you fall asleep, especially after a brief nighttime awakening. Remember to attach meaning to the words. This isn't an idle earworm, it has a purpose. If you imbue it with lucid intent, it could get you lucid and help you to stay lucid if your lucidity starts to fade. Practice 42. Sing to stay lucid. There's one instrument we all possess, and we carry it with us everywhere we go, our voice. It doesn't matter if you're no Adele or Bieber. You can still sing in the shower, or while driving the car, or cooking. Every time you sing, imagine you are lucid dreaming. Connect your singing firmly to the expectation of a highly stable lucid dream world. When you next get lucid, try singing in your dream. It's seriously magical to sing in a lucid dream. For a start, you can choose any voice you want. And secondly, no matter what your waking life voice sounds like, in a lucid dream your voice is a tool of power, a mighty force that can stop cows falling over crumbling dream cliffs, banish storm clouds, and cause the entire dream scene to tingle and vibrate with aliveness. Some lucid dreamers choose religious songs and find this can bring them sacred experiences, such as floating in prayerful luminosity. Others borrow the voice of their favourite star and sing their lucid hearts out. Others experiment by creating different sounds with their dream voice box. Singing in a lucid dream focuses your awareness and mental clarity, as well as delivering a full-on energy rush. This raised consciousness stabilizes the dream. Become a lucid dream yogi. Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, or any body-focused practice is great for building mental clarity and strengthening our ability to stay lucid in dreams. My 25-year yoga practice has helped me develop body awareness, which helps me to notice when I'm in my dream body, mental focus and concentration, a certain ability to stay calm in the face of crazy events, insights into the way the mind works, and balance, both mental and physical. I enjoy doing yoga in my lucid dreams as it's lovely to be effortlessly flexible and hold poses for as long as I like without tiring, as if I'm a top athlete or a bendy rubber woman. I can even levitate in my lucid dreams, and so can you. Yoga poses can also be helpful for staying lucid. One simple yoga pose that works wonders for me whenever I feel the dream becoming less stable is mountain pose. Here's my lucid dreaming version for you to test out. Practice 43. Stable mountain, Tadasana. When we practice yoga in a dream, the results can be astonishing. Mental clarity quickly increases, and we feel calm and serene. Stand straight and tall in your dream body with your feet apart and your arms relaxed by your sides. You may find you grow several inches because the dream body is so flexible and responds to intentions, but don't let this distract you. Take a deep breath imagining that you are breathing in clarity and lucidity. Mentally, turn up the dimmer switch so that your dream gets lighter and much clearer, the colours stronger. Notice the instant response of the dream. The buildings stop wobbling, the people stop dissolving. Everything becomes vibrant and conscious again. Breathe out any doubts about your ability to stay lucid or any unhelpful thoughts. As you breathe in again, feel how grounded and focused you are in this dream. Feel the dream ground beneath your feet. Take in the dream scene with your eyes, allowing your lucid gaze to land in quick succession on different objects or images like a butterfly. Say aloud, "I'm lucid dreaming." Often one in and out breath is enough to stabilize the scene, but you may need a few more at first. Practice this technique during the day while vividly imagining it working the next time you stabilize a lucid dream. Create your own simple grounding technique, whatever works for you and feels natural. You may choose to place your palms together over your chest in the prayer position, or raise both arms above your head in a sweeping circle. As long as you practice your technique by day and link it to a solid expectation of successful dream stabilization, it should work for you. Staying lucid in a dream can be a balancing act, and it requires mental clarity and inner focus. Both things can be trained through balancing the physical body. There are several simple yoga poses we can practice to strengthen our mental clarity and inner focus. As a long-time yoga practitioner and instructor, I found that when I take the extra step of linking this physical feeling of balance and mental focus to my lucid dreams, the effect is doubly strong. Yoga has plenty of balance poses, so there's a huge choice, but here are my two favorites. Practice 44. Full boat pose, Paripurna Navasana. Sit on the floor and hug your knees to your chest. Make sure there's nothing hard behind you in case you roll backwards. With a straight spine, tip yourself backwards just a little to bring your feet off the ground. Rock gently back into a position where you are perfectly balanced on your buttocks. For some, this may be surprisingly hard, but for others it's easy. Don't judge your ability, just see how it feels. Once you feel confident, play around by releasing your arms from around your knees and holding them straight out in front of you, parallel to the floor, palms facing down. Extend your legs a little and see how it affects your balance. For people who want this to be harder, try the full boat pose, which involves keeping your legs together and stretching them straight up in the air with straight knees so that from the side your body forms a V shape. Balance with your arms out in front of you, or if you're feeling flexible, reach up and grip your toes with both hands. Never force any yoga pose. Respect your body's limits and be compassionate to your muscles and ligaments. Practice 45. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Stand up straight and breathe. Focus your mind. Shift your body weight into your right foot. Raise your left foot and rotate your knee out to the left. Using your hand to help if need be, press the sole of that foot into your right leg at whatever height is comfortable. Breathing calmly, fix your gaze on a point at around eye level and focus. Bring your palms together in the prayer position over your heart or stretch your arms upwards like tree branches. Find your balance. If you wobble, notice this without getting flustered. If you have to put your foot down, so be it. Simply recover your feeling of calm focus and re-enter the pose. If this pose is difficult for you, the simpler version is to keep the toes of your left foot on the ground, turn your knee outwards, and lean your heel against your right ankle. Always practice on both sides. This pose is so tightly linked to mental focus that your ability to stand stably in it could change 12 times in one day. Observe how easy or hard it is at any given time, and you'll find yourself able to assess your state of mind with precision. Visualize yourself standing steady and tall, bending slightly in the breeze like a tree. Once you've attained balance in either of these poses, calmly repeat to yourself, "I am lucid. This is a dream. I easily stay lucid in this dream." As soon as you lose your balance, drop the mantra like a hot brick. Only use it when you are in perfect control of your balance and feel centered and focused. This is so you can quickly recreate the same feeling in a lucid dream as soon as you repeat this mantra. 3 more lucidity stabilization practices. You don't have to practice standing on one leg in order to stay lucid in a dream, so if yoga isn't your thing, here are some more stabilization practices to suit every temperament. Practice 46. Narrate dream events as they unfold. Pick up the skills of a sports commentator and use them to narrate everything that's going on in your dream. This can be really funny to do, and if lucidity is slipping, it's a fast way of pulling the dream back into clarity. Try it in combination with another stabilization technique, such as rubbing your hands together vigorously. Mention the word dream often as you narrate what you see and experience, so you don't forget you're dreaming. For example, I see a purple-grey fishing boat on a vast lake, but now it's being pulled up into the air by some invisible force. It looks so surreal, and whoa, I'm being pulled up too into some kind of a vortex. Stay lucid, stay lucid. Now we've been set down on a mountain top, and it's like a scene from Heidi, with spring flowers and dream cows chewing their cud with bells around their necks, except for this beached fishing boat reminding me this has to be a dream. When I touch the soil, it's thick and peaty, as real could be, only this is a dream, and the dream air is unbelievably clean and fresh, dream eagles soaring in a blue sky. Narrating the dream like this reminds you to stay present to everything you see, hear, touch, and experience. It grounds you within your dream world, even if you get swept up into a lucid vortex and deposited into a different dream. This is something that commonly happens when we lose our grip on one dream, but manage to stay aware enough to be lucid in the next one when it materializes. Practice 47. Pursue your lucid dream goal. Having a fixed goal of something we'd like to experience in a lucid dream can be a double-edged sword. As we saw in Chapter 1, it can be brilliant to focus on a goal in order to encourage us to get lucid. But when beginner lucid dreamers go all out to achieve a dream goal before learning how to stabilize and guide dreams, pursuing a goal too enthusiastically can result in losing lucidity. On the other hand, when we feel lucidity slipping, it can be useful to sharpen our mental focus and intent by recalling a lucid dream goal. For a start, this distracts us from worrying about losing lucidity. When we worry about something, we're half expecting it to happen, and expectation in the lucid dream state is a force to be reckoned with. It's good to combine your preferred stabilization technique with the strong but calm intention to pursue your dream goal. You might look at your hands to calm down and focus, then look back at the scene, expecting it to stabilize. Once you see it working, announce your intention aloud. In this lucid dream, I ride a white stallion through sunlit meadows. Sounds delightful, so go for it. When we practice active dream control, we seem less at risk of being sucked into the dream and losing lucidity because of our keen sense of our director role. Try not to be perfectionist about your goal. If the white stallion fails to manifest, but a large white dog appears, it's fine to ride that instead. Allow the dream its spontaneity and be ready to enjoy the joke. Practice 48. Fly to stabilize the lucid dream. Movement is a great way to solidify your presence in a lucid dream and stabilize the scene. Any physical activity can work well, from stroking a flower stem to taking large astronaut leaps. One utterly gorgeous experience is flying. This is a richly sensuous event that makes you feel completely alive, thrumming with energy, every pore of your skin tingling. It can also be an effective way of stabilizing a lucid dream, as the strong sensations combine with your new bird's-eye perspective to activate your brain and sharpen your mental focus. Once you're used to flying in your lucid dreams, Chapter 7 has tips on successful dream flight, this becomes a lovely stabilization technique to use when the dream starts to slip through your fingers and you begin to lose lucidity. Try flying low over the dream scene, focusing on every element and consciously expecting it to get clearer and clearer with each passing moment. Smile proudly to yourself when it does. You've got this. In this chapter, we've explored how experimenting with creative lucid trances to simulate lucid dreaming trains us to become adept at balancing conscious awareness and unconscious imagery. We've looked at how lucid dreaming-based meditation, mantras, yoga, and music can increase our mental clarity and focus. I've shared practices and techniques that train the mind to successfully stay lucid in dreams. After experimenting a little with each practice, you might like to choose your favorite 3 or 4 from this chapter and the previous one and work on honing them each time you become lucid in your dreams. The length of your lucid dream should increase naturally as you become more adept at managing your mental focus and maintaining a high level of awareness. When lucid awareness remains consistently high, there are no limits to what we can do in our lucid dreams. The next section explores the delightful art of guiding lucid dreams. Part 3. Best Techniques for Guiding Lucid Dreams. Chapter 7. How to Guide Lucid Dreams with the Power of Thoughts and Intentions. I'm lucid in a dream and I've stabilized the scene. What do I do next? The exhilarating answer to this question is, why, anything you like. It's true. In lucid dreams, we don't need to be held back by the laws of physics that govern our lives here on Earth. We can soar through the atmosphere, powered by our intent, slow time down to a crawl, or even create a dream freeze by stopping time altogether in the dream. We can experience multiple dream realities simultaneously, go back in time, plunge into the future, die and die again, experience orgasmic ecstasy, turn invisible and leap over rooftops without needing to catch our breath. We can shapeshift, becoming verdant moss, a python, an iridescent soap bubble. We can communicate wordlessly with dream figures and watch our thoughts impact the dream scene. But we don't have to be time-bending, shape-shifting superheroes in our lucid dreams. We can sit peacefully on a dream hill, smelling a yellow dream flower, or talk with a wise friend. Our lucid dreaming consciousness can be drawn on for deep healing, spiritual communion, or philosophical musings. Or we can experiment like lucid scientists, testing the properties and laws of the dream world and creating hypotheses as to the ultimate nature of dream reality. In short, we can be ourselves and explore lucid dreaming in any way that appeals to us. Of course, some may feel that's easier said than done. In my workshops, people ask me about dream control. They want to know the rules, how to do it, why it doesn't always work, and the pros and cons. This section of the book aims to answer all these questions and provide a wealth of tips and solid practical techniques to help you develop and expand your ability to guide and shape your dreams. In this chapter, we'll start by looking at the different ways in which we can guide dreams. Dreams respond to our thoughts and emotions. It's important to debunk the myth that just because we're lucid in a dream, we are controlling it. This simply isn't true. It's absolutely possible to be lucid and not actively guide events within the dream. For my PhD research into lucid dreaming as a creative tool, I identified 4 main levels of lucid dream engagement, and 2 of these are passive, involving no attempt at dream control. I call the most passive form passive observation, when we simply observe the film like a movie as it unfolds around us, keeping our thoughts quiet. The other passive form is passive participation, when we go with the flow of whatever is happening in the dream when we become lucid, without purposefully changing things. A more active form is sporadic control, when we occasionally nudge the dream in a particular direction or ask a question of the dream environment before waiting to see how the dream responds. I call the most active form continuous control, when the dreamer keeps trying throughout the entire dream to guide and direct events. In terms of how active we are, there are many options for the lucid dreamer to choose from. It must be said that dreams naturally and effortlessly respond to our emotions, expectations, doubts, and thoughts. This means that whether we're lucid or not, we can never 100% not influence a dream. We are the dream, and it is us. We communicate with our dream through a sort of marvellously pure telepathy, no need for effortful words or gestures. We feel something, and the dream knows and responds. We think something, and the dream knows and responds. How does the dream respond? For a start, it may change the dream imagery and events to fit in with our expectations. For example, in a dream, a crystal chandelier falls from a high ceiling onto bare concrete. We stare in surprise. It hasn't shattered. It just sits there like a crystal-armed octopus. Weird. Yet the next time we glance over, there it is, lying in shards that have scattered realistically across the ground. The dream has reacted to our expectation that a real-life crystal chandelier would shatter in this situation. It has sneakily corrected the visuals to fulfill our expectation. Expectation is a powerful force when we try our hand at guiding dreams. Dreams are also adapted to exaggerating details in response to our feelings. Our emotions and feelings have an instantaneous effect on dream happenings and dream imagery. Have you ever been in a dream and had a nervous thought about what might happen next, only to have it happen exactly as you feared? Perhaps you thought something like, "Oh no, I bet there are poisonous snakes in this jungle." Then lo and behold, what did you see but a poisonous snake slithering into your path? Dreams love to respond. They love to fulfill our expectations and our desire for drama. A golden rule when guiding dreams is therefore, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Be ready to turn them around on a pin if you don't want them to manifest instantly. Lucid dreaming is the best mindfulness practice ever. The strange beauty of waking up in a dream gives us a rich consciousness jolt. We get to experience the impact of our thoughts, expectations, intentions, and emotions on our surroundings. We get to witness the astounding moment-by-moment creativity of our dreaming mind as it instantly translates all this input from us into streams of emotive dream imagery. Before we dive into the how of dream control, let's look at our personal assumptions and beliefs about reality, because these have a lot of power in the lucid dream state. What do you believe? When we experiment with guiding dreams, it can be useful to check in with ourselves regarding our basic beliefs and assumptions about life, dreams, the cosmos, and how it all works. In the lucid dream state, we may think we're prepared to turn our assumptions on their head, but in fact, it can be harder than we anticipated to release cherished worldviews, even while we're dreaming. Some of our beliefs, even those about how the physical universe works, can trip us up on the path to exploring and guiding dreams. We can avoid some obstacles by checking in with ourselves about our personal belief system, as in the following practice. Practice 49. Test your belief system. Try answering these questions to work out your stance towards dreaming and waking life. 1. Do you think it will be easy to guide dreams with your thoughts? Do you anticipate a steep learning curve? Or perhaps you fear this is something only gifted lucid dreamers can do? Write a sentence beginning, "Guiding my lucid dreams will be..." 2. In waking life, do you believe that our intentions, beliefs, thoughts and desires have an impact on the physical universe? 3. Do you believe that we humans have attained the full extent of our knowledge about the laws of physics and that all our conclusions are correct? 4. Do you believe dreams are solely produced by our brains, or do you think dreams are vaster than the brain and have a different source? 5. Who are you when you dream? It could be beneficial to make a few notes on this and return in a few months to see if anything has changed. Try writing responses to the following without deliberating too much. How do you behave in your dreams? How do you feel in your dreams? Are you fearful, bold, sad, a pleasure seeker? Do you explore your dream world with childlike curiosity, or do you get into highly emotional arguments and physical fights? Do you ever cry in your dreams? 6. Are you kind and respectful to dream people, or do you see them as figments of your imagination that you can do anything you like with? 7. Are you a different person in your dreams than you are in waking life? How so? 8. Do you think it's possible to change your dreaming self for the better? And how about your waking self? 9. Is there any overlap between dreaming and waking experience, or are these two separate states? 10. What do you believe will happen if you die in a lucid dream? Your answers may come in handy as you set out to guide your dreams, especially if you find it hard to make stuff happen in a lucid dream, or if you have trouble getting off the ground when you try to fly in your lucid dreams. Be aware of any limiting assumptions you may have about the nature of reality, as these may hamper your open-mindedness and therefore your ability to guide events in the dream state. Take careful note of your answer to question number 1. If you wrote, "Guiding my dreams will be hard," modifying this sentence to something more hopeful should ease your path somewhat. Lucid dream exploration is a journey that can cause us to question some of our basic beliefs about physics, science, and the way we interact with the universe. It can cause us to question ourselves, who we are, how we handle relationships, and our attitude to life. This questioning can be the first step towards positive change. It's good to question things and stay curious with a spirit of discovery. It's good to develop as a person, both in the dream world and the waking world. And since the two are inextricably interconnected, change in one world will automatically cause change in the other. It's also good to move briskly past mental blocks and preconceptions so that we encounter our lucid dream world with a fresh, open mind and a fearless heart. What are the pros and cons of dream control? Even though lucid dreaming doesn't have to involve any active guiding of the dream, and even though no dreamer, lucid or non-lucid, can avoid interacting with the dream because it's naturally responsive to our thoughts, emotions, and intentions, I often hear objections to lucid dream control. Some people revolt against the idea of controlling or manipulating dreams, as they feel that important psychological messages could be missed. What if a dreamer becomes lucid in a dream of a four-headed dragon and decides to fly away from it at the speed of light to have some fabulous dream sex instead? Wouldn't that poor dreamer miss out on what might have been a terrifying yet psychologically valuable encounter with a fire-breathing dragon? Well, the nature of dreaming is such that nightmares are known to recur again and again until their message is received and understood by the dreamer. That four-headed dragon will likely return in a different guise until we face it with courage or unpack its message through waking dream work. This is one reason why it can be so valuable to become lucid in nightmares, in order to face our own shadow side and heal. More on how to do that in Chapter 8. Also, most people do not spend the majority of their night of sleep dreaming lucidly. They may have 1 or 2 lucid dreams, then none for a few days, then another one, and so on. This means there is still absolutely loads of non-lucid dreaming time where we can receive any psychological messages or guidance that we need. But let's not forget that lucid dreaming can be just as valuable in terms of deep psychological insights and self-understanding as non-lucid dreaming can. In a lucid dream, our conscious awareness enables us to experience startling insights and act in profoundly healing ways, as discussed in Chapters 8 and 9. The other point is that no matter how much we enthusiastically try to direct and control a lucid dream, there will always be elements beyond our control, or elements that we didn't consciously create. The shape of the spaceship, the colour of a dream person's coat, the music that drifts in from somewhere. Who invented those? Our dreaming mind is an instant world creator, and in the dream world there is always room for spontaneity. I'm a firm believer that any kind of dream fun is profoundly good for us. Have you ever woken up laughing out loud at something wonderfully funny that happened in your dream? Or have you woken up blissed out from a flying dream? Or smiling from your heart because in your dream you met a precious friend? Or have you awoken savouring the ecstatic sexual encounter you just dreamed? And how does waking up this happy affect your daytime mood? It improves it, beyond any doubt. When we wake up happy, we have more of the strength and humour we need to tackle problems and dilemmas. Dream fun is not to be sniffed at. It can be as psychologically powerful as being gobbled up by a four-headed dream dragon. Following many years of experimentation, my stance on dream control is that it can be fascinating to go with the flow of a dream when we become aware that we're dreaming. It can also be incredible to consciously direct the action towards a particular experience, ask questions of the dream, or purposefully draw on the lucid dream state for healing. We act in our waking lives all the time, right? We decide to drop karate lessons and take up rowing instead. We decide to phone an old friend, or we take a trip to Indonesia. Why not act in our lucid dreams if it feels right? As in waking life, though, it's helpful to remain receptive and responsive and not force things. Lucid dreaming is a conversation with the deepest part of ourselves, and if we are too rigid, we risk suppressing the natural, spontaneous, creative expression of the dream. This is illustrated by the following lucid dream shared with me by Bob Hoss, co-editor of Dreams That Change Our Lives and director of the IASD Dream Conferences. I was attempting to impose my very specific desires on the dream. I found myself frustrated, all alone in a pretty dull dream. At that point, the lucid dream itself personified as a woman, the secretary. I asked her, "Who are you?" She said, "I am the secretary." I asked, "What are you here for?" She said, "I am here to take orders from you, but I can't really do much creatively if that's all you want me to do." The dream secretary's words sum it up. When we determinedly impose our control on a lucid dream, we may cramp some of its marvellous creativity. I found that when I engage respectfully with dream people and animals, and do not force my agenda too rigidly, It can be a wonderful and highly creative journey of discovery to guide a dream. The beauty of lucid dreaming is that each person can experiment and decide for themselves their own preferred way of engaging with their lucid dreams. Why is lucid dream sex sometimes so difficult? It's always interesting to see how the dream responds when we attempt to guide events and carry out specific dream goals. It's only through experimenting that we'll be able to work out the rules of the game and maintain our lucid focus no matter what happens, and dreams are full of surprises. One popular area of dream guiding that people write to me about is sex. Dreamers feel frustrated when the dream sex they were so intent on having doesn't materialize in the way they wanted. There are reports of vibrant sex goddesses melting into puddles, turning into zoo animals, or reacting lifelessly with a lolling head and hideous blank eyes. That's enough to turn anyone off. But there are ways to get a dream back on track. It just takes mental focus and a familiarity with the practices in the getting and staying lucid parts of this book. Here's an excerpt from a dream of David J. Brown's in his book Dreaming Wide Awake, where we see the various obstacles that come along to thwart him as he pursues his goal of having dream sex. I found a willing partner but had some trouble getting all of her clothing down past her butt. She was on all fours, sticking her butt out and wiggling it, but there were so many layers of clothing to pull down, 4 or 5 layers of pants, pantyhose, underwear. I finally got them all down, got an erection and entered her. I was really enjoying the delightful sensations, knowing that my time there was limited, and I was trying to see if I could actually orgasm in the dream. However, before I could come, the woman turned into a rubber doll. Actually, she became just a partial, life-size doll's body, just the backside and butt, made out of rubber or latex, and she was hollow. There was no front to her. I realized with a sudden shock that I was just having sex with this rubber thing. Obstacles pop up regularly in this dream, the many layers of clothing, the woman's transformation into a rubber doll, and as the dream continues, all passion dies. There are various points at which the dreamer might have taken a moment to stabilize the dream and gain more lucid focus, which would have probably stabilized the image of the dream woman. Simply saying with power and conviction, "I am lucid," can snap the dream into clarity. Difficulty guiding dreams or carrying out dream goals is often a lucidity issue rather than a dream guiding issue. It can also happen when we haven't yet refined our powers of expectation and intent to the point where they automatically manifest to keep us on track. Practice 50. A Guide to Successful Lucid Dream Sex. When we take time to prepare the ground for a lucid sex dream, it's much more likely to manifest just as we desire. Spend time fantasizing about exactly what you'd like to do in your ideal erotic lucid dream. Think about it in the shower or while drifting off to sleep. The really important thing is to feel supremely confident that this scenario can and will happen easily when you are lucid in a dream. If you like, sketch your erotic scenario or write it out in sizzling detail to solidify the powerful tools of expectation and intent. Who knows, you may even discover a new talent as an erotic fiction writer. When you become lucid, use the clear lucid dream stabilization technique from Chapter 5. Once the dream is stable, try this trick to help a gorgeous, willing sexual partner to appear. Stand still, building your intent with a deep, steady breath, then declare, "When I turn around, I will find a gorgeous partner who is longing to have sex with me." Then turn around deliberately, fully expecting to behold your lucid dream lover. Another way to make the ideal partner appear is to use a power word or gesture of your own invention. If you plan to do this, be sure to weave that word or gesture firmly into your waking fantasies so that it has an instant effect in the lucid dream state. In a dream, there's no need for a conventional sexual partner in order to reach orgasm. Psychologist Dr. Patricia Garfield, author of the lucid dreaming classic Creative Dreaming, reports exploding into orgasm simply by plummeting from the sky into the ocean or using objects ranging from a rosebud to a water fountain to pleasure herself in lucid dreams. So if your desired partner never shows up or disintegrates in the heat of passion, there are always other options. It can be rewarding to appreciate lucid dream lovers as part of the magical creativity of lucid dreaming and treat them respectfully. You never know. This may have lasting positive repercussions on the kind of lucid dream sex you experience, not to mention the kind of waking life sex you attract. Once you embark on your sexual encounter, don't let the excitement make you lose your lucid focus. Be ready to revert to one of the clear steps any time you feel less aware. I can't seem to fly in my lucid dreams. What's happening? Flying seems to be another lucid dream act that some people lament is way harder than they thought. Yet lucid dream flying can be so gloriously easy. It's all about stable lucidity, plus our expectations and beliefs about what is or is not possible. In the following dream, I became lucid in a huge light building. I feel myself float higher and decide to explore the ceiling. It's so high. I shoot up a wall and backflip at the top, then fly around close to the roof. Such bliss! There's nothing like this sensation. Light and free, I twist and turn and play. The playfulness of dream flying is not to be underestimated. When we get too earnest about lucid dream goals, we risk thwarting them. It's good to feel light, happy and confident in a lucid dream, because the dream picks up on this and anything is possible. Relaxing and enjoying ourselves leads to a stress-free engagement with the dream scene. And if at this point we want to guide events, it's much easier than if we're feeling pressured or stressed about it. Since some beginner lucid dreamers have trouble achieving liftoff, here are some tips for an easy lucid dream flight. Practice 51. A Guide to Flying in Lucid Dreams. Once you're adept at stabilizing a lucid dream, flying shouldn't pose a problem, especially if you integrate some of the following tricks and tips. Expect flying to be easy. This is vital. Visualize successful dream flights before you go to sleep at night. Remind yourself that gravity has no real meaning in a lucid dream. It only exists if we believe it does. In dreams, flying is a normal mode of transport like walking or taking the bus. In the dream, jump into the air and spread your arms wide, willing yourself to soar upwards. The truth is, the arm position is irrelevant, but some people find that involving the arms helps them to get off the ground. Others find that adopting a Superman-style stance with both arms straight out helps. Discover what works for you. If you can't get airborne, imagine yourself turning into a soap bubble and floating upwards, or having a motorized backpack that can jet you into the sky at the push of a button. Be inventive and believe in your own invention. It's absolutely possible to trick yourself in this way so that suddenly you find yourself flying. If you can only fly sluggishly, this is a sign that you need to raise your lucid awareness and stabilize the dream using the clear stabilization technique or another of your choice. Keep trying without getting frustrated or feeling defeated until flying simply happens. Banish any doubtful thoughts. These will seriously hamper you if you give them power. Replace them quickly with the positive expectation of an easy liftoff. Smile, laugh, relax. Allow your leaps to be gazelle-like, lifting you up into the air. Then simply soar along from there. Some people report vertigo when they find themselves high above the ground. Take a calming breath and remind yourself in a light-hearted way that this is a dream, and the high-up visual perspective is a dream creation. You are not in any danger. Try a mantra. I can fall from the sky and not die. I am free as a bird up high. You also have the option of flying lower. Strongly intend to fly 6 feet above the ground, point your arms if this helps to direct you, and skim down to your preferred height. Let your breath be your engine when ascending and descending. Breathe in and imagine that you are a bright balloon and the dream air is helium. Feel yourself rising higher with every in-breath as your lungs inflate. It's so easy. The thrill of leaving the ground makes you feel even lighter, and you are able to deftly weave a flight path wherever you want to go. To return to the ground, purse your mouth into an O shape and imagine that each long exhalation sends you gently down to earth. Enjoy yourself. This is seriously one of the most gloriously cool experiences in the world. Swoop over your dreamscape. Blow a kiss to any people or animals you see, visit the stars, or fly straight into the golden fireball of the sun. You can't get hurt. You will wake up safely in your bed, so be free. The people and images we meet in our dreams. A dream figure doesn't have to be a person or an animal. It can be any part of the dream that we sense has a particular presence and reality to it. It can be a creature we've never seen before, a waterfall or a star. Just as in fantasy fiction, in lucid dreams animals can talk, and wise beings take on the guise of towering columns of blue light or mysteriously glowing bushes, as I found in my own dreams. And these high-consciousness dream figures seem to want us to become lucid. Many lucid dreamers hear a voice of God booming from the sky. I had the following dream during an afternoon nap. I'm driving along when I see an astonishing sight, a pink double-decker bus, sideways on, rising into the air. Simultaneously I hear these words spoken very loudly, "You are dreaming all of this." How much more of a lucidity cue do we need than that? The whole dream conspires to help us to get lucid. For avid lucid dreamers, that really is a dream come true. When I explored lucid dreaming intensively in my 20s, I was often amazed by the insightful things dream people would say to me, or the way certain dream animals looked at me with a searing, super-lucid gaze that jolted me into higher lucidity. It interested me when dream people contradicted me, or expressed opinions that I hadn't considered. It was as if some of them had a mind of their own, and I was fascinated. Years later my research led me to experiment. In lucid dreams, I would summon the fictional characters I had invented as part of my first novel, Breathing in Colour. This was to see if meeting my characters in the multi-sensory, super-realistic dimension of lucid dreaming would yield any fresh information about them or help my creative writing process. In one lucid dream I hung out with my artist character, Taus. It was exciting to be in his presence and see him fully embodied in my dream. He had an animal sensuality and was pretty moody. When I assured him that my main female character, Alida, would be all right, he turned and growled, "How do you know that? You may be the author, but you're not God." Well, that told me. I was taken aback that he seemed resentful of me, and yes, in all honesty, I had seen myself as his sole creator until then, so I probably deserved to be taken down a peg. I was also surprised at how protective he was of Alida, who he barely knew at that early stage of the novel. Then I noticed he was holding his paintbrush in his left hand, and I'd thought he was right-handed. This final surprise woke me up with a jolt. I reflected on this lucid dream, and suddenly understood that Taus was so defensive about Alida because she had already found her way into his heart. Aha! Now a new subplot for the novel opened up in my mind. I ran to my writing desk, slipped into the lucid writing trance, and wrote down what would happen next. Does it matter how we treat dream figures? Some of the most spine-tingling encounters I've had in lucid dreams involve animals. I've danced with elephants, lived in the jungle with a Bengal tiger, turned into a dolphin, discovered a baby bird napping on my bedside table, met the mother of all lizards in a luminous bardo zone, encountered a frozen stallion made of champagne, and had an ecstatic, lucid Kundalini awakening with a green serpent. Many of my dream animals are recurring figures in my dreams, and they take on the role of guides, showing me when I need to pay attention to things in my life. My dream tigers have a very strong presence in my dreams and are often linked to my creativity. I'm like a volcano if something stops me from writing or doing art. The inattention builds and builds until I'm close to exploding. I'll dream a tiger comes right up to me and takes my arm in his jaw, forcing me to look at him. Or he'll come and stand right on my balcony, his massive head inches from mine. Or he'll corner me in the kitchen. These tigers force me to pay attention to my wild side and get creative, or else. When I'm in my creative flow, my dream tigers lounge peacefully on riverbanks or let me stroke them. Dream animals can be the most valuable friends and allies. Look out for them in your lucid dreams, and always give them the time of day. It's worth it. In general, being respectful to dream figures yields huge rewards. I hear from lucid dreamers who say they treat dream people like cannon fodder, ripping them up with machine guns or beating them up or raping them. They're figments of my imagination, they say. They're like a computer game invented by me, so what does it matter? But then some of them ask, why do I wake up feeling bad after doing this? I'm not here to judge how people want to act in their lucid dreams, and I feel everyone is capable of finding the way that makes them feel comfortable. I encourage people to test the assumptions they have about the dream world. It's all a figment of my imagination, or it doesn't matter if I rape and murder in my dreams, are two assumptions that invite further reflection. I suggest that people experiment with different ways of relating to their dreams to see how that makes them feel. My own view is that on some level we are responsible for our actions, whether they take place in the dream state or in the waking state. If we practice kindness in lucid dreams, being kind in waking life is easier too, and my own experience has taught me that on the deepest level, we are not separate from others. We are all one, so it makes sense to be kind. Some lucid dreamers decide they need advice on a particular problem and hassle a dream figure for answers in what would be perceived as a little rude or abrupt if it happened in waking life. Then they wonder why the dream figure gives them the brush-off. Experienced lucid dreamers find it can transform everything if instead of leaping into things with our own agenda and making everything revolve around us, we pause to talk respectfully to dream people and are prepared to listen to whatever they have to say before asking them questions about our life issues. Also, an initial calm greeting or chat can also help us to see pretty quickly if this dream person is the best one to ask for advice. Some dream figures simply aren't too bright. They can lack awareness and seem puppet-like. Others seem super-conscious. We get a little shock when we look into their eyes because they are so present and alert. These are the best ones to go to with our questions. This next practice shows the 4 main levels of awareness of dream figures that I've come up with. There will be other levels for sure, and every dreamer is different, so you may like to customize these types as you explore more deeply. Practice 52. How conscious are your dream figures? Would you wander out onto the high street and ask a random stranger, "Where is my life going?" or "Should I split up with my girlfriend?" True, for some, this sort of exchange can and does happen after pub closing time. But don't we at least look people in the eye and exchange a few words first? In lucid dreams, there's sometimes the sense that we'll wake up imminently, so we stress out, trying to squeeze in our goal. But when we become adept at stabilizing the dream, we can chill out more. This guide is to help you to find the best dream person to spill out your heart to, while remembering one vital thing about lucid dreaming. Since the lucid dream itself hums with awareness, directing a question to the dream itself can be just as beneficial, if not more so, than seeking out a dream figure to ask. In many cases, the dream figure can be seen as a kind of prop. We're used to talking to people in waking life, so we feel the need to find an image of a person to talk to in a lucid dream to make it seem real for us. But we could just as easily direct our question to the underlying, thrumming awareness that lucid dream imagery emerges from. Zombies. These are the film extras of lucid dreaming. They have little more substance than a cardboard cutout and are non-responsive if you try to talk to them. The more lucid we are, the fewer zombies we meet. Puppets. These are rather cute in their own way. They'll talk to you, but you'll have the distinct impression that you're the one putting words into their mouths by expecting a particular response, or by telepathically supplying them with the words. If you imagine them laughing, then guess what? They laugh. Puppets do their best to keep up socially and maintain the illusion that they think their own thoughts, but their act is pretty easy to see through. Conscious equals. Some dream figures seem able to talk to us on an equal level. They don't seem to intuit our thoughts and spit them right back out at us like the puppets do. Instead, they respond with insight. They can surprise us, and they can argue coherently. Often they take on the role of guides or mentors and can be helpful at initiating us further into the mysteries of lucid dreaming. Super-aware. You'll know if you meet one of these. Super-aware dream figures seem even more conscious than we are. They seem to act autonomously and possess a higher awareness and deep knowledge. It is electrifying and occasionally terrifying to find ourselves in the presence of these super-aware figures who often manifest in non-human form, such as a glowing globe of light. Keeping our cool and not giving in to fear can make or break this type of encounter. When we stay calm and curious, we can learn so much from this type of lucid dream figure. If things get too scary, you can always wake yourself up. But it can be immensely rewarding to hold on to your courage and stay in the dream. Whenever you ask lucid dream figures a question about your life situation, your future, the nature of reality, or any other pressing question you may have, what are next week's lottery numbers? Will I get laid this weekend? Be alert for nonsensical or insanely cryptic responses, but it's best never to dismiss anything in the dream, as sometimes we only understand the message, if there is one, once we've woken up. No matter who we ask, remember that just asking aloud, asking the dream itself, is really effective because the lucid dream is conscious. Responses may manifest through a voice booming out from nowhere, or a stream of imagery showing us a particular sequence of events, or the appearance of a person or image. We might suddenly be awash with a strong emotion or experience a flood of insight. When we ask profound questions in a lucid dream such as, "What happens after we die?" or "What is the meaning of life?" what often happens is that we get swept up by an invisible wind and transported at top speed into a vast sparkling lucid void, or we are pulled downward into a spiraling black hole. Don't be afraid if this happens. Just hold on to your hat and go with that wind, because this sort of response from the lucid dream often ends in incredibly blissful states where we receive knowledge and experience pure, interconnected oneness, More on that exciting state of affairs in Chapter 9. Make new dream friends. If we barge through our lucid dreams with the attitude that dream figures are there to serve us, and that we are the king in this dream and can do whatever the hell we like, we are bound to run into trouble along our lucid dreaming path. At some point, we may develop a block around an aspect of lucid dreaming and not know why. Or we may stay stuck forever in the playground zone of lucid dreaming and never glimpse the absolute amazingness of deep lucid dreaming. But when we are willing to learn from our lucid dream figures and interact with them respectfully, everything changes. We'll make new friends. Our lucid dream friends, who may take on different guises in each new dream, can and will open doors for us, as well as doing everything in their power to get us lucid. If you experience a lucidity boost in a dream, the dream will overall become more conscious along with you. You are the lucid dream, and the lucid dream is you. Practice 53. How to interact with dream figures so they support our lucidity. When we enlist the help of dream figures to get us lucid, we may quickly unleash a flurry of lucid dreams as they respond by dropping hints to us that this is a dream, or invent other ways to raise our lucidity levels. As a basic fact of your lucid dreaming practice, be open to the fact that any dream person, animal, object or landscape you encounter in a lucid dream, or any dream for that matter, may have something valuable to teach you. Yes, even a dream slug or a zombie dream person. You never know. In dreams, pretty much everything is imbued with emotional meaning. Landscapes, dream figures, and even our own dream selves can all transform in the blink of an eye, so stay alert for changes. Cultivate an attitude of respect, compassion, and generosity with dream figures, and they will open new doors for you and help you in surprising ways. Offer the dream figure a gift, especially if they're being aggressive towards you or barring your way. Just put your hand in your pocket while fully expecting the perfect gift for them to emerge. Offer it with love in your heart. Even if the gift turns out to be nothing more than a raggedy bit of tissue you found in the depths of your pocket or a half-eaten toffee, the act of offering it with love often transforms the dream person or animal swiftly into a BFF. Just don't assume the same trick will work in waking life, unless you keep one pocket stocked with diamonds and the other with doggy treats. When we interact consciously and compassionately with our dream figures, they awaken along with us. They become highly conscious and eager to help us to get lucid, stay lucid, and discover all manner of wise and wonderful things in the dream world. In this chapter, we've investigated how to guide lucid dreams with the power of thoughts and intentions. We've considered our basic beliefs and assumptions about the universe. We've examined the pros and cons of dream control, and we've looked at the value of interacting respectfully with the people we meet in lucid dreams. We've seen that every part of the lucid dream environment is alive and conscious to differing degrees. I've shared practical guides to having successful lucid dream sex and superb flying dreams. Now it's time to move into the worst-case scenario, nightmares. We'll see how lucidity can help us reach powerful, healing transformations when we're faced with frightening dreams. Chapter 8. Facing and Embracing Nightmares. When we are lucid in a dream, we can see how swiftly our thoughts, emotions, and expectations cause the dream reality to change. When we grow fearful, "Oh, geez, what if that shadowy guy in the corner pulls out a knife?" Then what do you suppose will happen 9 times out of 10 in the dream? Yes, the shadowy guy brandishes a gleaming knife. Our fear intensifies still further with the panicked thought, "He's going to kill me." As we stand rooted in terror, fully expecting to meet a terrible end, what happens? The man springs towards us wielding his knife. Well, this dream could end badly, right? But what happens if at this moment in the dream we experience a thunderbolt of insight? If at this point in the dream we realize that we are dreaming this, that we are safely asleep in our bed, and that the terror we are feeling is self-created, our fear may vanish in the blink of an eye or the flash of a knife. Calm and lucidly aware, we face our would-be attacker with curiosity. "Who are you and what do you want?" we inquire kindly. This radical shift in our attitude changes everything about the dream. The scene grows lighter. The knife is clearly a fake one. We look into the attacker's face, and in wonder we see our own face looking back at us. "Wait, you're me?" we ask. In answer, we receive an embarrassed shrug and a nod, along with the mumbled reply, "I just feel like you've been ignoring me." Touched, we open our arms and hug this neglected part of ourselves. Instantly there is an incredible expansion in our heart, a sense of overwhelming love, mingled with a kind of giddy relief, like a homecoming. When we are able to respond to scary dream figures with love instead of fear, we can transform not only the dream itself, but ourselves. It may sound simplistic or corny, but it's true. People usually wake up from this kind of integrative lucid dream buzzing with happiness or with a sense of deep content. Lucidity can act as a trigger for us to change the way we habitually react. But even if we don't become lucid in a dream, we find that the more waking dream work we do, the more this kind of outcome will spontaneously arise in our non-lucid dreams too. When we are aware of the possibilities, our unconscious mind internalizes them too and will use them. In this way, over time, we become more resourceful dreamers and happier people. Nightmares are dreams that have such upsetting or stressful content that they usually wake us up. Bad dreams and nightmares commonly occur, even in adults. This chapter looks at ways of reacting with lucidity to nightmares, either during the actual dream or after we wake up from it. When we ignore or suppress our nightmares, they tend to recur until we receive their message. So becoming lucid in a recurring nightmare is a good thing, as it can enable us to understand and act on its message. We'll also look at sleep paralysis and how to free ourselves from fear in that state, so we can move directly into a beautiful lucid dream. In many ways, this chapter is all about fear. Let's cut to the chase and look at a fearful question that a surprising amount of people have about lucid dreaming. Could I physically die during a lucid dream? A lucid dream is simply a dream in which you are aware that you are dreaming. Lucid dreaming takes place in normal stages of sleep that we all move through every night of our lives. It's no more dangerous than non-lucid dreaming. There's no evidence that people have died while lucid dreaming, but if anyone did, how would we know? Secretly, I've always felt that dying in my sleep would be my preferred way to go, one day when I'm old. It sounds blissful, like floating into the light. Anyone could die at any stage of waking or sleep. However, after many thousands of adventurous lucid dreams, I have always woken up safely in my bed. So have other lucid dreamers. Sometimes I think there's too much mystical thinking about lucid dreaming, because people write to me seeming to seriously believe that if they die in a lucid dream, they will actually physically die. This idea instills in them a terror of their spontaneous lucid dreams. It seems such a pity, such a waste of potentially remarkable and healing lucid dream experiences to view them this way. It seems to me it's never worth being dominated by our fears. On the contrary, why not walk towards our fears? It's the first step to understanding them. Lucid dreaming enables us to hold our heads high and walk towards our fears. Dreams are rich with symbolism, and death in any dream, lucid or non-lucid, can be symbolic of transformation. Dying in a dream might represent finishing with one phase or stage of life and preparing for the next. Or it might represent an ego death, as we throw off a more self-centered approach to life and grow spiritually. Some people choose to die in a lucid dream in order to face their fears about death and come closer to understanding what happens at the end of life. One lucid dreamer I know allowed himself to be torn apart by a dinosaur. Another plunged off a towering dream cliff. Another flew into the molten core of the sun. They all woke up safely in their beds. When we are able to remind ourselves that, after any lucid dream, I wake up safely in my bed, we set ourselves free. We liberate ourselves so we are able to engage fearlessly with our nightmares. We can relax in the knowledge that even when things get terrifying in the dream world, we are safe. Armed with this knowledge, we can walk bravely to meet our nightmares. Why change a nightmare? Changing the ending of a nightmare can be powerfully therapeutic and has even been successfully used by people who experience recurring horrific nightmares due to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Imagine a veteran whose buddy was shot in the head right in front of him in the war. Now, in recurring nightmares, he relives the tragic scene and feels overcome with anguish and powerlessness. How can changing the dream story possibly help? Because we're working with imagery, we can reimagine the scene and change this imagery. For example, instead of the soldier shooting the veteran's friend in the head, he lays down his gun and admits that war is a terrible thing. The remarkable thing is that even if in real life the veteran saw his friend getting shot in the head, on the unconscious level of his nightmares, this simple act of changing the imagery has made a difference. A new path has been forged. New imagery overlays the old. If the veteran then focuses on his new, changed dream by writing it down and rereading it each day, this reinforces the new story, and the recurring nightmares may well reduce in frequency and intensity, or even stop altogether. This technique is called imagery rehearsal therapy. I just gave an example of one of the hardest cases, a trauma-induced recurring nightmare. But changing the imagery of a nightmare can have therapeutic benefits on any level. It can help us with a stressful, "I'm not ready" dream about an upcoming public speaking event. We find ourselves naked on stage, or a disaster dream about our imminent house move. The removal van rolls into a lake. When I first started teaching my lucid writing method, I taught it as a creativity technique. But as people started spontaneously resolving nightmares in my workshops, I understood its full potential as a tool for healing. The next practice shows how a few short minutes of lucid writing can help us unwrap the meaning of a disturbing dream or a nightmare, or resolve it in healing ways. Practice 54. Changing a nightmare with lucid writing. Have you ever wished you could have become lucid in a nightmare? You can add lucidity to the dream once you awaken from it. Changing and reimagining dream images is a simple yet powerful process. One lady had a nightmare about a huge vibrating demon. In her lucid writing, it turned spontaneously into a giant golden Buddha and then disappeared. She said afterwards that this had changed the energy of the nightmare and that the terror had simply gone. Another woman dreamed of a wild crashing river. In her lucid writing, it morphed into a calm sea, and she realized that rivers flow into the sea. They are one. This triggered the realization that she had been frightened her whole life of being swept along by her mother like a wild river, but she didn't have to be scared of losing herself. She felt this insight gave her an answer to a stuck part of herself that she'd been struggling with for many years. She now felt free to go with the flow of life and trust that everything would work out well. Enter a lucid trance by closing your eyes, taking deep breaths, and using the golden light visualization from Practice 38. Imagine light cascading over your body. Then bring your nightmare into your mind's eye, knowing that if things get upsetting, you can stop this process any time by opening your eyes. When your nightmare is vivid in your mind, notice the key images and emotions. Release any fear or anxiety, knowing that you are awake and safe. Allow the nightmare imagery to move and transform. Let the dream story change before your eyes. Take a pen and write without stopping, describing what you see and writing without any agenda, allowing associations and ideas to flow freely. Be open to receiving knowledge from your nightmare and be open to healing resolution. But it's not wise to force anything to happen. Lucid writing is more like watching and listening to a spontaneous flow of inner imagery and inner wisdom than actively creating. However, you might feel inspired to ask a question of one of the elements in your nightmare, just as you might if this were a lucid dream. Do you have a message for me? Why are you giving me such a mean stare? What do those massive tentacles of yours represent? Or, how does it feel to be you? Simply write down any response you receive without judging it, and allow the imagery to keep flowing. Critical judgment is not useful in this process. Just write and keep writing until you are done. Reread your lucid writing and underline anything that speaks to you or feels important. If you feel there's something you still need to understand about your nightmare, you can always take one element of your writing or a core image from your nightmare and use that as a starting point to write without stopping again. Adapt this technique to suit you. Not everyone enjoys writing, so you could try lucid doodling, working solely with images, or lucid talking, simply talking into a recording device while resting with your eyes closed and watching your nightmare imagery transform in your mind's eye. Nightmare solutions. One of the core nightmare resolution techniques I've developed is similar to lucid writing in terms of the internal transformation of dream imagery, but it's designed to be used immediately after waking up from a nightmare when we are still super close to the creative state of dreaming. It's called the Lucid Imaging Nightmare Solution. Lucid imaging is like lucid dreaming awake. It's like lucid writing without the pen, observing and guiding dream imagery in our mind's eye, so it happens very naturally when we're in the middle of a night of sleep. Please be aware that this technique is not recommended for those suffering from anxiety, depression, psychosis, or personality disorder, or people who have recently experienced trauma or bereavement. Some nightmares should not be worked on alone, as they can involve intensely emotional and deep-rooted issues. Instead, find a trained therapist to help you with any underlying issues. For many people who do not suffer from the listed issues, but who have trouble getting back to sleep after a nightmare, this technique is ideal. It gives you a calm space in which to interact lucidly and constructively with unsettling dream imagery and achieve a certain measure of resolution before slipping back to sleep, and perhaps even moving directly into a wonderful lucid dream. As with any other technique, see what works for you and adapt it to suit your needs. Practice 55. The Lucid Imaging Nightmare Solution. LINS. 1. Attend to your body. As soon as you wake up from a nightmare, do whatever you need to calm yourself and make yourself comfortable. Some nightmares result in hefty physical reactions like a wildly beating heart or sweat-drenched pajamas. Drink water if you need to, and take deep, calming breaths. Then lie comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe calmly. Ask yourself if you want to work with this nightmare now or not. If the answer is yes, remind yourself that you are relaxing safely in your bed and can stop the process whenever you want to, simply by opening your eyes and sitting up. 2. Re-enter your nightmare. Recall the dream imagery as far back as you can. What were you doing before the dream grew unpleasant? Knowing that you are now safe in your bed, allow the imagery to resurface in your mind's eye. If you have difficulty summoning mental imagery, you can use the storyline of your nightmare as a way in. Notice any associations you have with the dream images and events, but don't agonize or obsess about possible meanings. If at any point in this process you feel very frightened, upset, or unsafe, stop immediately. Some nightmares are simply too strong and disturbing to face alone. 3. Identify the tipping point. Pinpoint the moment when feelings such as fear, guilt, or anxiety grew strong, or when the monster reared its ugly head. This moment is like the tipping point on a pair of scales. It is the moment that your dream turned into a nightmare. Your task now is to restore the balance. Decide where in the dream action you want to begin to change events or your attitude towards them. Beginning just before the tipping point usually works well. 4. Imagine this is a lucid dream. Rerun the script to resolve the dream crisis. Watch the imagery as it unfolds and reacts responsively to your thoughts, questions, needs, and guidance. This is a highly creative state of consciousness because the mind is alert, yet your body is relaxed and close to sleep. In lucid imaging, you can be a film director, rewinding the action and replaying different outcomes. Now that you are playing at being lucid in this nightmare, you have many options. You could ask a frightening dream figure why he is following you, or actively change the nightmare story so that something harmonious or amusing takes place. You could introduce help into the dream in the form of a strong friend, a magic tool, or a healing mantra. You could try passively reliving the nightmare free from fear and observe how this affects the imagery and events. The best nightmare solutions are not forced. Allow the imagery to develop spontaneously in response to your initial guiding thought or question. You'll know when you found the right nightmare solution because your tension around the dream will greatly diminish and you'll feel safe and calm. 5. Program yourself to get lucid. When you are happy with your nightmare solution, you are ready to return to sleep. This is an excellent time to watch as your hypnagogic imagery builds up into a moving dream and set a firm intention to fall asleep consciously. As you fall asleep, try repeating, "I am lucid, I am lucid," or "the next thing I see will be a dream." The practice you have just done with the lucid imaging nightmare solution, observing and changing dream imagery in a relaxed pre-sleep state, is a form of lucidity rehearsal that will help you to become lucid in your next dream. It is also useful to use this post-nightmare work to program yourself to become lucid the next time you have a nightmare. Simply repeat, "The next time something bad happens, I'll recognize that I'm dreaming." When working with a recurrent nightmare, remind yourself that the next time you are confronted with its particular imagery, this will trigger lucidity. Practice 56. 10 nightmare options for use in lucid imaging and lucid dreaming. Any of the options available to you during the lucid imaging nightmare solution technique are, of course, also available to you during lucid trance states such as lucid writing and during a lucid dream. For clarity, I've made a list of 10 main actions you could find useful when faced with nightmare images or scary dream events in any state of consciousness. Choose your favorites, invent new ones, and discover which work best for you. 1. Call for help. Ask the dream itself for help, but not in a shrieking, fearful way. State it as calmly as you can. Send me help, please. Expect help to arrive in any form. It might be a dangling rope ladder to lift you away from the jaws of the monster, or a surprise superpower, such as the ability to turn invisible or see through walls. A strong dream friend may leap to your rescue, hence the importance of making dream friends whenever we can. 2. Offer a gift or blow a kiss. Everyone loves a gift, right? Sinister dream figures or snarling dream beasts are no exception. Reach into your pocket, expecting the perfect gift to materialize, and see what comes out. A sapphire? A rubber duck? Doesn't really matter as long as it's offered with love. If you have no pocket or if nothing appears, try blowing the dream a kiss. This also works with frightening dream stories, such as clinging to a piece of driftwood in a stormy ocean. We change the dream with our mindset. We blow a kiss of gratitude because for an instant we are enlightened. This nightmare is here to help us learn and grow on some level. How very kind of it. Our mood lifts and the dream responds. The waves calm, or we are saved by a mermaid. Inevitably there is a response. On the deepest level, the dream is us and we are the dream, which means that whether we like to think so or not, the nightmare is us and we are the nightmare. 3. Annihilation. Sometimes responding with love and compassion is the last thing on our minds. In some cases, it can be psychologically empowering to respond with force, particularly in the case of dreams that represent times in our life when we were victims of trauma, abuse, or bullying. This is a dream. So if we feel in the moment that what we really need to do is kick the shit out of a dream bully, that is our call. I've said elsewhere that I don't see it as my role to judge people's dream behavior. I do feel that a live dream friend is worth more than a dead dream enemy. My own experience is that responding to aggressive dream figures with forgiveness, love, and compassion results in the most mind-blowing integrative experiences I've had, the kind where I wake up buzzing with light and energy and bounce out of bed totally stoked, knowing that I've turned a dream enemy into a powerful dream friend. 4. Fearless surrender. When we know we are dreaming, we can release all our fear. One possible response is to surrender to the nightmare. If a woolly mammoth is charging you, stay put and let it steamroll you flat, or scoop you up with its tusks like a forklift truck. You may be surprised when it does neither of these things, but stops in front of you and raises its trunk gently to your face to sniff you. You found a new furry dream friend. The fearless surrender option can, and often does, lead to incredible experiences of dissolving into light or being swept off into the sparkling, multicolored depths of the lucid void to receive knowledge. It's as if the dream notices our willingness to relinquish our ego and rewards us with spiritual gifts. 5. Become a dream magician. Dream magic is possible from any age. In one recurring nightmare, my 4-year-old daughter faced scary witches. Instead of panicking, she magicked a little toy witch for them to play with, and the moment she gave it to them, it turned into an adorable live baby witch. The other witches were delighted. They all had a picnic together, and the nightmare never returned. We are magicians in our lucid dreams, and in our waking imagination anything is possible too. We might choose to shoot globules of light at the scary elements in our dream, or swish our vanishing cloak over our heads and disappear, or whip up a storm to cause the vampire bats to retreat. It's fun to imagine all manner of magical possibilities during waking dream re-entries, and have them in mind when we become lucid in a nightmare. 6. Ask for a gift. It may feel a bit cheeky to ask a flame-tongued, three-headed dream dragon for a gift, and you may end up with something you didn't expect. Can a charred hole in the ground really be considered a gift? But you might end up with something spectacularly useful, a turquoise gemstone for seeing into the future, or a fireproof jumpsuit. 7. Turn into an escape artist. Sometimes we just want to get away from the nastiness of a nightmare, even if we know it could be beneficial to seize our courage in both hands and face our demons. Luckily, we have as many escape options as we like, including waking ourselves up by holding our breath and wiggling our toes. An escape artist might choose to outwit a dream aggressor in a dark alley by disappearing down a trapdoor or performing aerial flips like a prize-winning gymnast. 8. Build a protective shield. This is a useful protection to use any time you feel under threat, and can be done mentally in waking life situations too, when we are confronted by aggressive or tiresome people. Visualize yourself within an egg of protective white light. In dreams and visualizations, this can be reinforced with power gestures. Push your arms outwards, upwards and sideways to increase the protective light surrounding your body. 9. Ask the message question. Pausing in the fear and confusion of a nightmare to ask the dream figure, animal or situation, "Do you have a message for me?" can have transformative results. A terrifying tidal wave may stop in its tracks to show you a close-up image of your bullying boss, conveying the message. Your work situation is overwhelming you, and big change is coming. A dream panther might respond, "I am here to give you my agility and fearlessness." Be prepared for the dream to surprise you with its response. One woman asked a giant man who was chasing her, "Why are you chasing me?" Seeming mortified, he shrank down to a normal size and told her sadly, "You need me for your fear." It can be illuminating to realize that we are the creators of our fear. Crucially, this realization enables us to release excess fear so that we free up energy for other areas of our life. 10. Hug the monster. Nothing says that we have to hug an unpleasant element in our dream. What if it's a venomous sea urchin? This option encompasses any loving gesture. We might send love and light by placing our hands over our heart and opening them towards the nightmare image. Hugging can be pretty amazing, though, and I imagine a dream sea urchin's spines and venom would dissolve during a lucid hug. A hug can be both welcoming and a kind of surrender. With a hug, we send this message to our inner monster: "I love and accept and welcome you into my heart. We are one." How beautiful is that? It's enough to bring a tear to the eye of the most hardened dream monster. A dream hug can be a fast and wonderful way to integrate rejected parts of ourselves and make a solid dream friend for the future. The lucid imaging nightmare solution is excellent practice for lucid dreaming, as it helps us to rehearse possible actions and reactions that we can then put into practice in the dream state. If you practice any of the responses mentally by closing your eyes and imagining them playing out positively in your latest bad dream, you'll send a powerful message to your dreaming mind that these are valid and effective responses in the face of fearsome dreams. You'll build a habit of responding with creativity, power, and compassion to nightmares. It will become natural, even in your non-lucid dreams, to respond to any threat with flexible action instead of terror. The following practice shows how to turn feelings of fear into lucidity triggers. Practice 57. Anxiety, unease, and fear as lucidity triggers. Train yourself to become lucid in your nightmares. Anytime you feel anxious, worried or fearful while awake, take a moment to label the emotion. I'm feeling anxious. Be mindful of this feeling of anxiety. Notice where it is in your body. Is your belly tight? Is your head hurting? Then ask yourself, am I dreaming right now? Take a deep breath and do a quick reality check. This will calm you somewhat in your waking life situation, and if you do it often enough, it will create an automatic lucidity trigger that will carry over into your dreams. Building this kind of response while awake is so valuable because once it is integral and automatic for you to associate negative emotions with reality checks, you'll start to reap the benefits of this connection in your dreams. As soon as you experience fear or anxiety, you'll realize that you are dreaming this. You'll find it much easier to liberate yourself from fear and anxiety once you recognize that you are in a dream and will wake up safely in your bed after this experience. You can then explore these feelings within the lucid dream state or discover why the dream is bringing up these emotions. You'll soon become adept at recognizing that you're dreaming and releasing fear to engage in creative and healing ways with the dream. In time, you'll find that fear or anxiety will act as natural lucidity triggers. As soon as I get a serious feeling of unease in a dream, 90% of the time I automatically realize I'm dreaming. Knowing that we have an array of options helps us to create a happier dream life. Sleep paralysis. Have you ever had that awful stuck-in-quicksand feeling in a dream? You're running from an attacker, but your limbs turn to stone. You struggle to move forward, but it's impossible, and he's gaining on you, his breath hot on the back of your neck. You wake up with a pounding heart and may still experience that heaviness in your limbs as you try to rouse yourself from your nightmare. Why does this happen? Everyone experiences muscular paralysis during REM sleep. This is a biological safety mechanism to stop us from acting out our dreams and waking up with injuries from running into walls or falling down stairs. The muscles involved with breathing and our eye muscles are the only parts of our body that aren't paralyzed. This means that every night we experience quicksand limbs, but we only notice it when we remain conscious during the transition from the waking state into sleep, or when we emerge consciously from REM sleep and feel stuck. The sensations of the dream body get mixed up with those of the physical body, and this mixed-up state can result in bizarre hallucinations and sensations, such as being crushed or suffocated. This is known as sleep paralysis, SP, and understandably some people find it extremely frightening at first, until they learn how to respond. Another unpleasant sleep event that often seems linked to sleep paralysis is the lucid nightmare. This happens when, even though we know we're dreaming, frightening things are happening and we can't wake ourselves up fully. Any panic we feel is bound to make the nightmare worse. In the lucid nightmare state, we are highly alert mentally, but we may experience stuck and trapped sensations because our dream body is getting all mixed up with our physical body as it lies in natural paralysis. Yet despite the unpleasantness these states can bring, sleep paralysis can serve as a portal into lucid dreaming, and for that reason we can even learn to look forward to it and welcome it into our night of sleep. The following practice shares tips on how to relax into sleep paralysis and how to make the most of our lucidity during this weird transitional phase of sleep. Practice 58. Sleep paralysis tricks. When we learn how to handle sleep paralysis, it can become a gift, a springboard to fantastic lucid adventures. Sleep paralysis is when we wake up mentally while our body is still paralyzed and our dreaming mind is still switched on. This means we are already lucidly aware whenever we find ourselves in SP. We are mere moments away from lucid dreaming. That's already something to be happy about, so if you feel scared, Just remind yourself that SP is a threshold to lucid dreaming. If scary things are happening, do not struggle. Struggling and fighting in sleep paralysis only makes it worse because it sends you into a flailing panic. Remind yourself that this is a transitional state of consciousness and congratulate yourself on your mental alertness and lucidity. Remind yourself that your body continues to sleep safely in your bed and that you will wake up safely from this experience. Fear is your worst enemy in sleep paralysis because this is a thought-responsive environment that will respond to your expectations as well as mirroring and amplifying your emotions. If you truly want out, hold your breath to shock your body into waking. Focus on calming your mind and releasing fear. It's helpful to practice a calming technique while awake so that you can automatically use it when stuck in sleep paralysis. Try breathing in calm and breathing out fear. Any breathing technique can work wonders in sleep paralysis because it will calm your mind and simultaneously release the fear in your physical body. You could also create a protective shield of white light around your dream body. Try an affirmation. I release all fear. I am always safe in the dream state. It's also effective to bring a memory of happiness and safety to mind and allow it to expand, filling your heart and mind. If you practice meditation, now is the time to test it in dream space. This can be incredible and lead you straight into deep, lucid dreaming states of bliss. Be curious. Document events, imagery and sensations like a scientist. Notice swooping or falling sensations, loud noises, voices, shadows moving in the space around you, but don't get drawn into feeling frightened or out of control. Remind yourself again that we all pass through sleep paralysis every night. We just don't usually notice it as we lose consciousness first. You are the lucid dreaming equivalent of an astronaut, an onironaut. Imagine you have to report on this new dream space that you are discovering. What will you say? How will you describe it? This is a lucid adventure, a surreal interactive movie, a window into the dreaming mind. Enjoy your status as an intrepid explorer of dream space. Remind yourself that your physical body is paralyzed, but your dream body isn't. So try rubbing your dream hands together or performing a dream body backflip. It can be easier in SP to stay asleep rather than wake up, since waking up involves battling through all the paralysis, numb limbs, strange sensations, and pins and needles that can occur on the road to waking up. And of course, if you're interested in having a lucid dream, you'll find it kind of helpful to stay asleep. If you are experiencing sleep paralysis hallucinations, practice the lucid imaging nightmare solution. No need to wait until you've woken up from this frightening sleep experience. There's no time like the present, so calm yourself with a deep breath and begin the steps. Think back to the moment when you became fearful, the tipping point, and start working to restore the balance. You can interact calmly and creatively with whatever is happening right now in your sleep paralysis. If there's a glowing-eyed demon crouching in the corner of your bedroom, use any of the 10 nightmare options listed in Practice 56. You might ask the demon for a gift, or if it has a message for you, you might send it love and light, recognizing that it is part of you and cannot harm you, and that you will soon wake up safely in your bed. Create a lucid dream by visualizing a gorgeous, inviting scene. Does your fantasy scene involve rowing a wooden boat on a sparkling lake, snowboarding down a mountain? Bring your scene to vivid life and roll, slide, or melt into it while staying consciously aware. You're lucid dreaming. Navigating sleep paralysis can take courage initially and a certain amount of perseverance, but it can quickly become an arena for honing your lucid imaging nightmare solution skills and a welcome stepping stone to lucid dreaming. Our assumptions about dream figures may also need to be examined carefully as we learn to respond calmly to sleep paralysis, as shown in the next practice. Practice 59. How to relax around frightening dream figures. It can be helpful to question your beliefs about what happens in sleep paralysis and lucid nightmares. Ask yourself, do I see frightening dream figures as separate from me? If so, you are giving those dream figures power. Historically, people believed that sleep paralysis experiences were supernatural visits, which of course made them even more terrifying. Today, we know that as the body transitions into sleep, our brain, physical body, and sensory perceptions go through changes that can result in crazy sensations if we stay conscious while they happen. Use this knowledge to help you to release fear of any spooky figures you meet in SP so you can brave the ride. Ask yourself, are dream figures, whether nice or nasty, part of myself? Are they part of the collective unconscious? When we take the attitude that dream figures have turned up in our dream to teach us something or illuminate something for us, we are much more likely to get the most out of our nightmares. This is not to say that this is the right thing to believe. Naturally, it's up to each individual to draw their own conclusions about the nature of the people and animals they meet in their dreams. Unpleasant or scary dream figures might represent past trauma, or they may mirror difficult feelings we have about a current situation in our lives. They might appear as a reminder that we need to learn new ways to react to threats or pressure. While many dream figures seem to reflect our personal lives or unacknowledged shadow aspects of our own personality, others may be transpersonal, symbolizing the state of our planet or the cosmos. In the case of dark presences in sleep paralysis, these may arise solely from the uneasy overlap between the dream body and the physical body that occurs in sleep paralysis. The dreaming mind has an unparalleled talent for turning physical sensations directly into super-realistic and highly emotive imagery. Release fear, be curious, and fill your heart with love. This is the attitude that gets us the furthest when it comes to ominous dream figures. There's a simple equation in the dream world that you'll notice I keep returning to. When we change our attitude towards frightening dream figures, they change in response. Be strong, claim your own power, and don't let fear be your master. Who knows, you may even make a new friend. And after this dream, you will wake up safely in your bed. In this chapter, we've explored the way that our own fear can impact dreams and rapidly turn them into nightmares. We've seen how lucid writing and the lucid imaging nightmare solution can help us to resolve unpleasant dreams by asking questions of the dream and creating flexible responses to fearful situations. We've looked at the healing power of changing bad dreams into good ones. I've shared tips for responding to scary sleep paralysis experiences and shown how to turn them into lucid dreams. We've seen how to react to frightening dream figures and explored the value of reacting with curiosity and love in the face of aggressive dream animals and people. When we work lucidly with nightmares, either during or after the dream, we can help ourselves move from fear to healing, and this empowers us to unwrap the precious gifts that nightmares hold. The next chapter looks into the healing and creative possibilities of lucid dreaming. Chapter 9. Going Deeper. Creativity, Healing, and Spiritual Lucid Experiences. When we manage to get lucid, stay lucid, and grow familiar with the basic laws of the lucid dream world, we are in a position to go deeper into lucid dreaming. As we do so, we inevitably learn a lot about our motivations, reactions, expectations, and desires. There's usually no escaping ourselves when lucid in a dream for two reasons. Firstly, because we are the lucid dream, and it is us. Secondly, because dreams respond instantly to our thoughts and intentions in surprising creative ways, which is why it's so much fun to guide dreams. However, in deep lucid dreaming, we can escape our ego selves when our dream body dissolves along with our self-concept, and we experience ourselves as pure, disembodied conscious awareness. Are you intrigued? This chapter explores how to have this amazing deep lucid dreaming experience and how to go deeper in other ways. We'll look at how lucid dreaming enables us to engage consciously with powerful dream imagery to promote creativity, healing, and spiritual experiences. We'll examine how to heal physical and psychological issues in lucid dreams, and I'll share tips on what to expect when weird dream stuff happens and you find yourself floating lucidly in infinite blackness, the lucid void, shooting out of your body amidst noisy buzzing vibrations, out-of-body experience, or encountering blissful light in a state of pure awareness, the lucid light. Let's begin by looking at how we can enhance and deepen our creativity to access original ideas and artistic inspiration. Creative lucid dreaming. Connect with your inner artist. Creativity is not reserved only for a select few artists and writers. We are all creative. And if anyone is in doubt about this, I warmly invite them to look to their dreams. This is where we encounter the mind in its most creative form. The visions experienced in dreams are multisensory, three-dimensional, and emotionally charged. They can change as fast as thought and in response to thought. Dreams are pure creative energy. Every night, our dreaming mind releases this wildly creative stream of images, emotions, associations, memories, ideas, and imaginings. All of life is present in our dreams, and we can connect to the deep, rich resources of our unconscious by waking up in our dreams. During the writing of my first novel, Breathing in Colour, I got stuck on the voice of one of the main characters, a teenaged girl called Mia. She needed to be different in some way, but I couldn't get it right. Every time I wrote in her voice, it came out wooden and rigid, nothing like what I wanted. Then I had a lucid dream where I was lying on a beach, and I knew without looking that the sand in my fist was luminous orange, because I could feel the orangeness through the pores of my dream skin. When I awoke from this unusual lucid dream, I did some online searching and discovered synesthesia. This is a sensory condition where musical notes might be experienced as having different flavors or colors felt as sensations on the skin. After that lucid dream, I knew that Mia was a synesthete. My creative block dissolved in the blink of an eye. I had further lucid dreams where I deliberately invoked synesthesia to help me write in Mia's voice. The result was rich, multisensory, imaginative writing that I had never produced before. In lucid dreams, we can experience sensations and events that we have never experienced before in waking life. Take floating, for example, or flying Superman style. How often in waking life have we jumped into the air and floated effortlessly upwards? The closest experience would be diving to the bottom of a swimming pool and pushing up lightly. And as for flying like Superman, many of us have done it virtually by projecting our imagination into simulated computer games. But who has actually felt the sensation of flying alone through the sky, unaided by equipment? In dreams, we can do this, and feel our skin tingling as we zoom along. Such experiences can be translated into art or expressed through music. In lucid dreams, we wake up inside this hyper-realistic, naturally creative environment. Imagine swooping down a ski slope at breakneck speed, knowing you can't hurt yourself, as this is a dream, and then bringing this experience to life on the page of your novel in progress. Or sitting in a dream bar with one of your screen idols and getting acting tips and advice from them. Or becoming lucid and asking the dream for help with your business plan, exam question, or scientific invention. The deep creativity of dreams, combined with lucidity and after-the-dream techniques such as lucid writing, can lead to new ideas, astonishing leaps in understanding and problem-solving. Freedom unlocks creativity, and so does the delicate balance of conscious and unconscious in lucid dreaming. Lucid dreamers can tap into the teeming creativity of the unconscious and guide this creative source to help them in specific ways. A sculptor might ask the dream to take them to a garden filled with original sculpture. A surgeon might practice operations in lucid dreams, or a fiction writer could choose to invent a story. It can also be helpful for us to use lucid dream creativity to improve physical skills. One guy swam through honey in his lucid dreams to test the muscle resistance as he practiced his swim stroke. A woman sparred with a plexiglass version of herself while lucid dreaming, as she needed a sparring partner her own size to practice with. When we become lucid and stable in a dream, truly we have an inexhaustible creative source at our fingertips. In one lucid dream, I wanted to explore how to develop a fictional plot, so I turned myself into a fairy tale princess and let the story unfold, with the full knowledge that I was the producer, director, and actress all rolled into one. It turned into an exciting story, which ended with me taking possession of some magical gemstones, and the fire brigade busting down the castle door because they wanted the gems. As the door crashed open with supreme lucid concentration, I caused myself to disappear atom by atom, something I'd never tried in a dream before. Creative lucid trances were covered in Chapter 6, so this next practice focuses on what we can do to trigger creative outcomes, new ideas, and original artistic creations while lucid in a dream. Practice 60. Lucid dreaming for deeper creativity. When we wake up in a dream, we encounter the rampant creativity of the unconscious mind with full conscious awareness. This leads to transformative, spontaneous creative inspiration. Try something new. In dreams, we are less inhibited. When we become lucid, we can try out any art form with full awareness but without fear of failure. A new dance routine, an oil painting, rock music, the Tai Chi form, parachute jumping, spontaneous poetry. We can practice a business talk or a kickboxing maneuver, or combine these two things just for fun. In dreams, anything can happen. Once I practiced the art of glass blowing. It was incredible, because the coloured molten glass behaved like giant soap bubbles wobbling up into the air above me. One multicoloured glass bubble was the size of a bus. It was unexpected, pure dream creativity, and an absolute marvel to behold. Ask the dream to help you, and it will respond. In a lucid dream, I asked, "Show me something creative," and spotted a big treasure chest lolling open behind a tree. Inside were colourful materials, ribbons, wool, glitter, shells, silk strips, and so on. Beautiful. I ran my fingers through their rich textures. When I woke up, I was inspired to create a multimedia collage using all these materials for the first time. In an interesting twist, I should tell you that the treasure chest was guarded by two big dogs. Often we need to overcome inner obstacles or hidden doubts before we dare to diversify into a new art form. But that's okay, because we can be brave in lucid dreams, if we choose to be. When I faced those dogs with fearless lucidity, they ran off and left me to discover my creative treasures. Stay flexible. If you try to force waking life creativity, it often responds by shutting down. It can be the same in a lucid dream. Go with the flow while keeping your goal in mind, and the rewards will be rich. React creatively to obstacles within your dream. What if you come up against a brick wall? Well, why not take the opportunity to explore lucid dream physics and the nature of the lucid dream body? In 2013, I wrote in my dream journal, "Lucid, I press my whole body through a wall very slowly to experience it atom by atom. It's like moving through semi-hardened glue." Observe the dream as it creates itself. Simply standing still when you become lucid and watching the dream as it continues around you can be an awesome experience. It's like watching a film of your mind at play. Look out for glimpses of amazing creativity as the dream breathes life into every tiny detail within it, from a blade of grass quivering in the breeze to the peculiar purple pelicans flying above your head. Give an initial impetus. If you want to guide the dream towards a specific creative project, make a verbal request when you get lucid. How should my finished sculpture look? Then relax, wait expectantly, and see how the dream responds. Anything could happen. A brick wall might explode to reveal a gleaming pink Cadillac, or a hole right through the core of the earth might appear. Be ready, hold your hat on, and stay lucid. Work on a nightmare. When people with creative blocks tell me that they only have a dream scrap to work with, I always say, well, that's okay because you can get a lot out of a dream scrap. If they tell me they only have a nightmare to work with, I feel a leap of excitement because I know that this will generate deep creativity for sure. A nightmare is compressed creative energy. Free that energy in a lucid dream by using the techniques in Chapter 8, or work on it while awake, and your art will transform. Now let's look at what may be the ultimate creative expression, healing. How does emotional and physical lucid dream healing work? As we go through life, all of us experience various degrees of emotional trauma. These can range from isolated, upsetting events to the grief of losing a loved one. Such experiences may be reflected in our dreams in the form of anxious dream scenarios, dreams with strong negative emotional content, or recurring nightmares. As we explored in the nightmare chapter, all dreams come to help and heal us, even nightmares, which can be seen as red flags that cry out to us, healing is needed. Lucidity can help us gain insight into emotional issues or resolve them. Lucid dreaming is a thought-responsive environment, so our intent can have a transformative effect on the dream. One young man had a serious fear of the dark. He had nightmares about a demonic cupboard, until in a lucid dream he decided to face his fears. The cupboard shook as if something was about to burst out of it, but he kept walking toward it, and it dissolved into shreds of shadow. Beyond it, he saw sunlit fields and walked into them. From that day on, he was no longer scared of the dark. Facing a phobia takes courage, but lucid dreaming can help us face our fears. When we direct healing intent in the dream by choosing to face our fears, or by sending love and light to negative dream people or events, the imagery may change spontaneously into something healing. When healing change takes place on the level of the unconscious, we experience inner resolution, and the wonderful thing is that outer change then naturally follows this, and we feel the positive effects in our waking lives. Any state of consciousness where we actively mingle waking and dreaming consciousness has enormous transformative potential. Lucidity gives us insight into emotional blocks and deep-rooted fears and can trigger powerful healing. I'm not a big fan of mathematics, but there's one equation I love to use. Lucidity plus dream imagery equals transformation. The same equation can also be applied when we work lucidly to heal physical ailments and illness. There is a growing number of anecdotal reports from lucid dreamers who claim to have healed physical complaints, ranging from inflamed tendons to benign tumours to tinnitus, ringing of the ears, by directing healing intent toward their complaint while lucid in a dream. Anyone who has woken from a scary dream with unmissable physical sensations of fear, such as a racing heart and clammy hands, has experienced the mind-body connection. Dreams can sometimes warn us of physical disease, as shown by studies into breast cancer warning dreams. One lady was even able to show her doctor the exact place beneath her breast where he needed to insert the biopsy needle, because a dream showed her where the cancerous lump was situated. The doctor did what she said, and found an aggressive, fast-moving cancer right in that spot. Reports of warning health dreams are relatively common. Another woman dreamed she had a glowing blue egg at the base of her skull and knew it was a tumour. Tests showed that she did indeed have a brain tumour in that spot. Our dreaming mind translates physical sensations directly into imagery. But please don't imagine that every dream you have is a doom-laden health message. Most dreams are emotional rather than physical, so even the strongest nightmare may have absolutely nothing to do with physical health, nor warn of a grim future. The best way to discover the meaning of your dream is to unwrap its message using practical tools, such as the ones I share in dream therapy. The mind can alter unconscious body processes, as seen in hypnosis, where healing suggestions are made in a light trance, and healing imagery is developed to overlay old negative patterns of imagery. When we work directly with the imagery-rich language of the unconscious, and enable it to change in healing ways, we can have a powerful effect on our state of health. In a lucid dream, rather than lying drowsily on a couch in light hypnosis, we are fully immersed in the vivid, all-encompassing world of dream imagery. This, combined with our alert state of awareness, creates a powerful combination for healing. Lucid dreamer Dr. Beverly Durso had a uterine cyst and a mass that doctors suspected might be a tumour. She experienced a lucid dream healing in which colourful geometric figures in the sky beamed healing energy onto her. The next day, an ultrasound scan showed no cyst, no possible mass, and a healthy uterus. Scientific research studies show that actions carried out in a dream have a measurable effect on the physical body. Lucid dreamers can affect their heart rate, breathing, and muscle tone. Neuroscientists have shown that when lucid dreamers clench their fists, the same part of their brain lights up as when they clench their fists while awake. Sports psychologists have concluded that athletes can improve their physical performance by practicing in their lucid dreams. Most people readily agree that lucid dreaming can help with emotional issues, yet despite these illuminating studies into the connection between dream actions and the physical body, some find it hard to accept that we can draw on the power of the dreaming mind to heal the physical body. What's your view on this? My suggestion, as always, is to keep an open mind, create your own experiments, and find out for yourself in your own lucid dreams. The following 2 practices aim to give you a platform from which you may launch yourself into whichever aspect of lucid dream healing, emotional or physical, you would most like to explore. Practice 61. How to trigger emotional healing in lucid dreams. When we are able to calm our emotions and stabilize the lucid dream, we are in an excellent position to work in healing ways with even the most disturbing imagery. In the face of scary or unhealthy dream imagery, a menacing ghost, a vat of acid, Create a protective egg of light around you or recite a mantra. Calm yourself. Stabilize lucidity using the clear technique and prepare to take healing action. Here are different ways of reacting to unpleasant dream imagery in healing ways. Choose your favorite or create your own and practice it mentally during a pre-sleep visualization to get used to it and play with possible healing effects. The goal is not to whitewash negative dream imagery. The dream is an honest mirror that can show us not only what we're feeling or dealing with, but how to find a way through to healing and empowerment. Forcing the dream imagery into something more palatable likely won't result in deep healing. Instead, remain calm, open, curious, and compassionate, as this enables spontaneous change and deeper healing. Create a feeling of love in your heart and send love and light to any frightening or distressing dream imagery, people, or animals. This is much more powerful and helpful than trying to force change. Ask the dream questions. Why is this dream unfolding like this? Is there a message for me? I am open to hearing the message of this dream. I am open to healing in this dream. Seek understanding. Why is this dream occurring now? Consider this lucidly. With insight comes spontaneous healing. Present a menacing dream figure or snarling dream animal with a gift. Surprise them. Their reaction may well surprise you in return. Ask yourself, what do I need to feel safe in this situation? I always tell my young daughter, whenever you ask for help in a dream, help will arrive. This is the truth, if you believe that it is. And belief plays a huge role in the healing process and in lucid dreaming too. Children believe the trusted adults in their life. When they carry into the dream the belief that help is at hand, lo and behold, help manifests. Help arrives in the form of a rescue helicopter, a muscular friend, a defending animal. Adults sometimes have to relearn that trusting spirit. Help yourself to feel safe in your dreams by summoning help. Trust and expect that it will arrive. Now let's look at how to heal physical issues in lucid dreams. Practice 62. Lucid dream healing of physical ailments. Light, love, and lucidity are the three magic L words when it comes to healing. When we manage to combine them, we stand a good chance of easing physical aches and pains and creating a valuable new picture of health to bring back to waking life with us. To heal a physical ailment, direct healing energy towards the affected part of your body with a gesture, such as placing your hand there or extending your fingers. Create a healing ball of light. Rub your palms together in the dream and feel healing energy grow between them. You may see warm light or sparks between your hands. Apply this healing energy to your body. Remember, you don't need to touch the afflicted part of your body to heal it. You don't even need to be in your dream body. The power of healing intent is strong in any state of consciousness, but in a lucid dream it can be particularly powerful. Use your lucid intent to beam healing to yourself on all levels. Trust your intuition. Stay flexible to how the dream unfolds once you have brought into it the intention to heal. Love is an incredibly healing energy. Summon love in your heart, place your hands on your heart, and then send that love to whatever ails you. Within the lucid dream, visualize yourself in vibrant health. This creates a strong new mental image for you to internalize on a profound, unconscious level. Create a healing mantra and sing your healing song at the top of your lucid lungs, causing the entire dream to reverberate with healing sound energy. This can be incredibly exhilarating. These healing actions may spontaneously integrate and transform unhealthy imagery. Black fungus may react to healing intent by turning into a carpet of spring flowers. An aggressive dog might turn into a playful one. You may wake up feeling the physical and emotional effects of your healing intent. Remember, your dreaming mind wants you to heal. Healing is always available to us in the dream state. Spiritual lucid dreaming. We've looked at emotional and physical healing. Now we'll look at spiritual or soul healing in lucid dreams. People report encounters with deities, religious presences, and spiritual gurus in their lucid dreams. One woman saw a field full of Buddha statues that she suddenly realized were alive and breathing. Another often floats on what she describes as the luminous winds of the Holy Spirit. It also seems common for people to experience profound states of bliss while lucid in dreams, and these often involve dissolving into light. Have you ever had a dream where the imagery falls away and you find yourself floating in what seems like infinite space? Light is often present in accounts of healing and in spiritual encounters. I came up with the term lucid light after experiencing this all-encompassing, soul-nourishing light in deep lucid dreams. Such experiences are nothing new and have been reported across cultures and religions that span millennia. But their commonness doesn't mean it isn't deeply marvelous and spiritually refreshing to experience them. The lucid light can help not only with spiritual and emotional healing, but with physical healing. After an operation to remove a cancerous tumor, one man kept finding himself floating in a cube of white light in his lucid dreams. He knew he was being healed in these dreams and made a good recovery. After hundreds of encounters with blissful light sources in lucid dreams, as well as in meditative and trance states, I consider the lucid light to be our baseline state of consciousness, the ever-present source of light of conscious awareness that we all emerge from at birth and return to when we die. Lucid light dreams tend to involve luminescence of any color or black light and are often accompanied by the experience of expanding into oneness. We can encounter the lucid light in any state of consciousness, but it seems especially easy to reach it in lucid dreams, out-of-body experiences, the pre-sleep hypnagogic state, highly lucid waking moments, during meditation, while floating in the sparkling black lucid void, and in luminous dreams. Reports of near-death experiences often mention soulful, magnificent light. This light is with us and within us all the time. It's just a case of knowing how to reach it. Lucid light experiences can be so utterly and profoundly amazing that they revitalize and refresh us to our very core. These experiences can help with anxiety, depression, and burnout. Once I finished a stressful book deadline and collapsed onto my bed, totally drained and beginning to feel physically ill. Instantly the room filled up with luminescence, a warm golden light that felt so welcome and supportive as it encompassed my body. I floated blissfully within it, fully aware I couldn't feel my body anymore. I surrendered to the incredible sensation of floating in pure, healing light. After a time my eyes opened, and I saw that I'd been in that state of bliss for 90 minutes. No dreams, only lucid light. I sat up and was astonished at how energized I felt. I bounced out of bed, grabbed my mountain bike, and went for a long riverside bike ride, feeling on top of the world. Talk about a power nap. That was a battery recharge plugged right into the energy source. I glowed like a 100-watt light bulb. Spiritual lucid dreams of all types are treasures, and we tend to wake up from them with an inner glow. Let's look at how to stoke our spiritual fire by invoking them. Practice 63. Get lucid, get spiritual. How to invoke spiritual experiences. Whether we're atheists or religious, lucid dreaming can lead to blissful transcendental experiences that remain with us for a lifetime. Set an intention. Practice visualizing yourself encountering the deity of your choice in your next lucid dream, or having an immersive experience of the lucid light. Create a mantra or a verbal request to use when you become lucid. I am open to a spiritual, transcendent experience, or take me to the Buddha, or I am divine light. Move towards the light. In any lucid dream, and in other lucid states of consciousness, follow the light. You may be in a dream and see a particularly vibrant tree, or an object that has a glow to it, such as a luminous moon. Go to the tree and hug it, or reach for the moon. Notice luminosity, and recognize it for what it is, an especially aware part of your dream, one that could act as a portal into a deeper spiritual experience. Don't be shy about connecting with the light in your dreams. Just be calm and respectful. Meditate in your next lucid dream. This is the fastest way to reach a state of bliss. With no physical body to distract us with aches and pains, in a lucid dream we go deep quickly, and this can lead to wonderful experiences of oneness, interconnection, and compassion. No need to sit cross-legged if you don't want to. The intention to meditate, along with closing your eyes, should be enough to send you into a deep meditative state almost instantly. It helps, of course, if you have some experience with waking meditation. Backflip into the divine. When you become lucid and the dream is stable, float up into the air, then close your eyes and do a backflip. It's possible to perform this acrobatic feat with great elegance and grace in a dream. Try it. With the firm intention of moving directly into a divine encounter or a spiritual or transcendent space. Use your mantra and release all fear, knowing that after this powerful experience, you will wake up safely in your bed. Before that, though, things may get exciting. You might find yourself being pulled along through black rushing winds or sucked through rainbow tunnels of light. This is all fine. Go with the flow, stay curious and aware. In many such lucid dreams, I get spat out at the end of one of these wormholes, and that's when things get deep fast. It's like being a dream astronaut, an oneronaut, floating in vast space, weightless and aware, looking into infinity. Pinpricks of coloured light, as if all the stars in the universe are around you. In this state, it's common to no longer have a dream body, but to experience yourself as a pinprick of awareness, and eventually even that sense of self may dissolve into an experience of profound peace and oneness. Ask the dream-probing existential questions. These often lead to spontaneous and enlightening experiences like the one described in the previous point. In one lucid dream I asked, "What are dreams made of?" The dream scene began to vibrate with incredible energy. I laughed, as this was such a familiar response to me. "Okay," I said, "I get it. Dreams are made from energy. But tell me this then, what is energy made from?" The vibrations calmed down, and these beautiful chains of light appeared. They linked together in intricate patterns until there was more and more light. In awe, I said, "Oh, wow! Energy is made of light." This lucid dream turned spontaneously into a powerful revelation, one that shaped my lucid light theory and inspired me to connect with the light in my dreams whenever I could. Questions to try, if you feel ready to hear the answers, are: what's my life's purpose? What happens after death? Or try requests: show me my soul, show me my death, show me my future soulmate, child. To complete this chapter, I'll briefly address two common experiences that often confuse and distress people when they first arise: the lucid void and out-of-body experiences. The lucid void. In the lucid void, you're basically already in the lucid light. It's just black, or white, or multicolored light. The gap between dreams, the stuff that dreams are made from. Once you find yourself here, all you need is the right mindset. This is one of calm lucidity, meditative alertness, and peaceful stillness. I get messages from people asking me, "How can I escape from this terrible black space? I can't see anything and it scares me." Well, as we've explored in this book, dreams are thought-responsive spaces. So if we feel horrified to find ourselves in the lucid void, it will likely be a horrifying experience. It's like the story of the puppy who ran into a cave of mirrors. There he found a whole gang of puppies all looking right at him. Terrified, he barked, and all of them barked right back at him. Out he raced, his tail between his legs. Silence fell in the cave. His curiosity got the better of him, and he ventured back inside, feeling calm and brave. To his delight, he met a whole crowd of calm puppies. He wagged his tail, and they all wagged their tails back at him. This is how it works in the lucid void and in any dream state. If you are having fearful dream experiences, work on calming your fear by day, by practicing deep breathing, surrounding yourself in a protective egg of light, and reminding yourself, "I am safe." Bring this serenity into the lucid void with you, and your experience will transform in positive ways. We are in control of our reactions to situations. We can learn to calm ourselves and cultivate an attitude of curiosity. Practice 64. How to release fear and respond in the lucid void. The lucid void is a wondrous state, one of infinite creative potential. Instead of fearing it and doing all we can to escape from it, it makes so much more sense to learn how to navigate it and explore its marvelous gifts. Practice calming techniques during the day, or recall a moment in your life when you felt totally safe and loved. Allow this feeling of well-being to envelop you. Chant Om in the void to create a sensation of calm and send marvelous sound vibrations throughout the space. Welcome the void. It's a place of contemplation, painlessness, and infinite creativity. If it bothers you that you can only see blackness, create some light. There is light everywhere in the void, just look for it. At first you may see pinpricks of colour or whole swathes of glowing light. If you are falling through the void, know that there is no rough landing awaiting you. These sensations are often caused when the brain transitions from the state of waking to the sleep state, hence the term falling asleep. Simply relax and fall, perhaps trying out a few acrobatic feats on the way down. Play with your dream body if you have one. Stretch to become as long as a ladder or as wide as a house. You have an incredibly flexible dream body, so have some fun with it. Try somersaults or impossible yoga poses. Be playful in the void. Make yourself chuckle. Laughter is the best antidote to fear. Build up an orchestra of musical instruments or sing your heart out and observe the way sound causes the void to vibrate beautifully. Create a new dream. Visualize anything you like and watch as the dream assembles itself before your eyes. This is fascinating. It sometimes appears as swirls of energy and colour that coalesce into dream people or full-blown scenes. Seek out the void whenever you get lucid. Once I was testing how hard or easy it was to read text in a lucid dream when I read something that reminded me to head into a more expansive state. I see the words lucid dream expansion, and I like that. Good idea, I think. I'll let this lucid dream expand. I soar high into the air and the dream scene vanishes. I am in expansive darkness. I float bodiless in this vast drifting space, the lucid void. It's like being among restful black clouds. I've fallen into the gap between dreams again. So peaceful. Now that we've looked at the value of releasing fear in the lucid void and enjoying ourselves instead, let's take a look at out-of-body experiences where the same principles apply. Out-of-body experiences, OBE. A common question I hear is, I've heard lucid dreaming is the same as having an out-of-body experience, but the idea terrifies me. What if I leave my body and never return? Firstly, lucid dreaming is not the same as an out-of-body experience, OBE. There are overlaps in how these states feel, but lucid dreaming happens only during sleep, whereas an OBE can happen during sleep, but it can also happen while we are wide awake. An OBE can be triggered by physical trauma, such as a car accident or fainting, or it can happen from a state of deep emotional shock. OBEs can even be caused using virtual technology to trigger a perceptual leap into a virtual body. Secondly, you won't leave your body and never return. If this were the case, millions of people of all ages and states of health would be found dead in their beds without any discernible cause. We have such a strong connection to the physical body. I know people who spend years and years trying to increase the frequency of their out-of-body experiences, and they really have to work at it. Others experience OBEs naturally and effortlessly, or even unwillingly because they just happen. The entry into an OBE can be pretty crazy the first time it happens, as common sensations involve loud buzzing, strong vibrations, and then being propelled out of your physical body. Not all OBEs are this dramatic, though, and some people only become aware that they are having an OBE once they're already floating on the ceiling. As with the lucid void, if you find yourself leaving your body, stay calm, curious, and aware, and enjoy the ride. Despite some fears around OBEs, they are perfectly natural and can be wonderful in terms of creativity, healing, and spiritual experiences. Many people seek out this experience, so this final practice aims to help you trigger an OBE from different states of consciousness. Practice 65. How to trigger an out-of-body experience from a lucid dream and from waking. When we relinquish fear around the idea of leaving our body, which is something we all do each night anyway, when we transition into a dream body, we open fabulous new possibilities for consciousness exploration. Visualize yourself leaving your physical body effortlessly. See the part of yourself that is pure light slip easily upwards and float or fly wherever you want to go. This is the first step in communicating to your unconscious mind your wish to have an OBE. Meditate with this visualization and try it each time you find yourself in a deeply relaxed state, such as in the middle of the night after a mini-awakening. Daydream whenever you can about what you'll do when you leave your body. Next time you get lucid in a dream, ask the dream for help. Please help me to have an OBE, or be assertive. OBE now. It is possible to trigger an OBE from the dream state. While lucid dreaming, set the rock-solid intention to experience an OBE. Then zoom very fast upwards, through the ceiling, through the roof, through the clouds, through the Earth's atmosphere, and right up into outer space and beyond. In my experience, this trick usually results in the dissolution of the dream body and the transformation into a bodiless streak of light. During the day, lie down and relax deeply. Then visualize a strong rope dangling from the ceiling. Mentally grab onto it and easily pull yourself up it, hand over hand. Feel yourself leaving your physical body as you do so. Experience the immense freedom of floating weightless in your room, Then imagine flying outside into the warm sun and exploring. As you vividly imagine this experience on the cusp of sleep, you may start to feel vibrations or hear buzzing sounds. Relax into these, trusting this experience, and roll out of your body for real. In this final chapter of the book, we've explored how to go deeper into lucid dreaming in the areas of creativity, healing, and spiritual or transcendent experiences. We've looked at the power of emotional and physical healing in lucid dreams. We've played with different possibilities for receiving creative inspiration and interacting creatively in our lucid dreams to bring new ideas to light. We've touched on the deep, lucid, dreaming state of lucid light and seen how blissful and revitalizing this experience can be. We've examined ways of releasing fear when we find ourselves floating in the lucid void or having an out-of-body experience. I've shared practical tips ranging from how to invoke spiritual lucid dreams to how to trigger OBEs. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what is possible when we go deeper into lucid dreaming. Deep lucid dreaming is an ocean, a whole other world to explore. Conclusion. Lucidity is awareness. When we bring awareness to any aspect of our life, we enable transformation. Paying mindful attention to dreams and approaching lucid dreaming with curiosity and wonder can help us to become more aware and connected in our waking lives as well as in our dreams. In the art of lucid dreaming, we've discovered ourselves to be highly individual dreamers and sleepers. We've learned how to create a tailor-made, flexible, unique lucidity program to reflect our personal path into lucid dreaming. It's good to revisit this program regularly to change and refresh it, avoiding over-familiarity with it at all costs, because that's when boredom sneaks in, and boredom is a lucidity killer. When we keep things fresh and tickle our curiosity with new techniques, our interest remains high. All the practices in this book can be seen as recipes to tweak creatively to suit our own preferences, because the more personalized a technique is, the more effective it becomes. The next steps are to keep practicing by day and by night. We've looked at the power of intent, clarity, and expectation, and how to take practical steps to get and stay lucid before guiding dreams in a range of creative and interactive ways. We've encountered nightmares, sleep paralysis, out-of-body experiences, and the lucid void, and stepped closer to our own dream people and animals. We've explored various lucid states that interconnect with lucid dreaming, from waking dream work, such as lucid writing, to the pre-sleep state of lucid hypnagogia and transcendental lucid light states. Each of these states can help us on many levels: creativity, healing, and self-understanding, as well as on the soul level of expanding our natural compassion and deepening the knowledge we have of ourselves as spiritual beings. And there is so much more to discover. Beyond this practical book, a whole dazzling inner world awaits us all. One of the things I love about lucid dreaming is that it never loses its power to wow me. After more than 40 years of personal lucid dream exploration, 25 years of studying it, and 15 years of teaching the benefits of lucid dreaming to others, I am still awed by the discoveries that people make when they dive into their lucid dreams with courage, curiosity, and wonder. One lady who was distraught over the sudden death of her father saw him in a lucid dream. He was radiant and happy. They hugged, and she woke up feeling a sense of acceptance that had not been possible for her before. A soldier told me about the post-combat PTSD nightmares that he bravely managed to face through lucid dreaming. A young woman shared a transformative lucid dream in which she saw herself and her life from a higher perspective and felt intense love and compassion, understanding that she was doing her best in life and everything would turn out all right. A dying woman's spiritual experiences of dissolving into light in her lucid dreams helped her to face her imminent death with peace and equanimity. The bravery and spirit of intrepid lucid dream explorers never fails to move me. This is such a wonderful state of consciousness with incredible potential for creativity, healing, spiritual growth, and philosophical expansion. We help ourselves and others on all levels when we discover the art of lucid dreaming. But in the rush to chase the holy grail of lucid dreaming, let's not dismiss our non-lucid dreams. All dreams have value, even the scraggiest scrap of a dream, and all dreams have lucid potential. When we pay attention to every kind of dream we have, regardless of how lucid we were in it, we are paying attention to the deepest part of ourselves. We are also connecting with something profoundly human, since we all dream every night. Dreaming is a universal language, which means that dreams have huge connective power in our fractured world. Why not create a tiny bit of healing change in the world by starting to ask the people in your life about their dreams? When we listen to the dreams of others, we see each other on the soul level. And what happens when somebody else sees you on the soul level? You light up inside. You shine. So by sharing dreams, we bring more light into the world. In this spirit, I'd like to share a recurring dream I have of diving deep into the ocean where everything is lit up and magical. I'm swimming powerfully into the depths, exploring and finding marvelous treasures. Then I rise back up to the surface, and there are all these people sitting around on the rocks, and I'm so excited that I wave and call out, "Hey, there's a whole other world down here. Come and see, come and explore." This dream symbolizes my enthusiasm for drawing people's attention to the magical and fascinating other world of dreams. I hope that with this book, the deep-sea diving dreamer within me can encourage you to dive fearlessly into the magnificent world of lucid dreaming and discover its treasures for yourself. I wish you happiness as you explore the other world beneath the waves. You can find Appendix 1 in the bonus material. Appendix 2. Examples of unique lucidity programs. I've picked out 3 common sleeper-dreamer combinations and have created unique lucidity programs for each of them so you can see how it works. Unique Lucidity Program 1. Sleeper-dreamer combination of types: heavy sleeper, low recall dreamer, anxious, depressed dreamer. Core techniques. Practice 2. Power up your dream journal. Timing, every morning. Practice 18. Surfing on the edge of sleep. Timing, afternoon naps and at bedtime. Practice 10. Wake up back to bed. Timing, 5 hours into my night of sleep. Intent-raising practice. Practice 19. Sleep under the stars or at least in a different room. Timing, 3 nights to a week. Reality checks. Number 1, the nose pinch. Number 2, the finger test. Number 3, whenever someone smiles at me, even on TV. Pre-sleep routine. Watch a YouTube video on lucid dream induction techniques, 5 minutes. Meditate to music, 5 minutes. Watch my pre-sleep imagery while repeating the mantra, "I am lucid." Dream journal. Goal number 1. Write down every dream scrap I remember. Jot associations. Underline moments when I nearly got lucid or could have seized the opportunity to do so. Goal number 2. Choose 1 dream per week to reimagine as if I got lucid in it. Duration. 2 weeks, maintaining a steady habit of dream journaling and pre-sleep routine. Try sleeping somewhere different 3 nights each week to encourage a lighter sleep. Unique Lucidity Program 2. Sleeper-Dreamer Combination of Types, Light Sleeper, High Recall Dreamer, Visual and Imaginative Thinker. Core Techniques. Practice 23. Hone Your Strangeness Radar. Timing, Daytime. Practice 17. Shape-Shifting. Timing, Pre-Afternoon Nap Visualization. Practice 36. Talk to Dream People, Objects and Animals. Timing, Pre-Bed Visualization. Intent-Raising Practice. Practice 15. Use mini-awakenings to cement your intent to get lucid. Timing, Nighttime. Reality checks. Number 1, the floatiness check. Number 2, the reading text test. Number 3, the tongue bite. Pre-sleep routine. Read a lucid dreaming book, 5 minutes, plus meditation, 5 minutes, plus visualization. Dream journal. Goal number 1. Sketch core images for all dreams and use colored pencils to represent emotions. Goal number 2. Vividly reimagine 4 dreams per week. Invent what I'd do if I were lucid in them. Duration. 1 week for this program, following it every day and every night and taking notes. Unique Lucidity Program 3. Sleeper-Dreamer Combination of Types. Nightmare Sufferer, Agitated Sleeper, Sleep Paralysis Episodes, and High Recall Dreamer. Core Techniques. Practice 24. Create a lucidity ritual. Timing, before sleeping. Practice 55. The Lucid Imaging Nightmare Solution. Timing, after a nightmare. Practice 58. Sleep Paralysis Tricks. Timing, during a sleep paralysis episode. Intent-raising practice. Practice 39. Meditation for clarity and lucid intent. Timing, any time of day. Reality checks. Number 1, whenever I feel scared or uneasy. Number 2, the hands trick. Number 3, the light switch test. Pre-sleep routine. Relaxing bath plus meditation, 10 minutes, plus dream reliving with positive changes to distressing elements, plus calming lucidity mantra, I am lucid and perfectly safe. Dream journal. Goal number 1. Focus on writing down as many dreams as possible to track themes and patterns, bearing in mind that recurring dreams are especially good for becoming lucid in. Goal number 2. Take the time to write out possible solutions and actions for dreams with distressing content. Play with ideas from Practice 56, 10 Nightmare Options. Duration. At least 2 weeks, and definitely until I've tried the Lucid Imaging Nightmare Solution straight after a nightmare and the sleep paralysis tricks while actually in sleep paralysis. Resources. The International Association for the Study of Dreams, IASD. For those who would like community support with their dreams, or who want to deepen their exploration of dream work, I highly recommend becoming a member of IASD. This vibrant and friendly organization brings dreamers together from all walks of life, creates fabulous dream conferences, easy access online ones and others in global locations, and provides a wealth of expert dream advice, insight, and information through its member-exclusive Dreamtime magazine and its academic journal, Dreaming. IASD is community-based, supportive, and fascinated by all aspects of dreaming. For me, it's like a second family. Find out more at asdreams.org. Deep Lucid Dreaming. If you want to keep exploring lucid dreaming and go deeper, on my website you can browse articles on everything from lucid dream healing to nightmare solutions. Pick up a free ebook on how to get and stay lucid, watch lucid dreaming videos, and contact me for advice. Please understand that I get a lot of messages, but I do my best to reply as fast as I can. I look forward to connecting with you. Visit deepluciddreaming.com. My YouTube channel, Deep Lucid Dreaming Dr. Claire Johnson, has plenty of short videos where I talk about different aspects of lucid dreaming. youtube.com/channel/U_C 3 P -H 6 M I X L 4 O R Q J O C O R C X L W. You can also contact me on Twitter at LucidClaire, or come over to my Facebook pages, facebook.com/deepluciddreaming and facebook.com/lucidclaire. I'm on Instagram as Claire_Johnson_lucid_dreaming, all lowercase. If you fancy the idea of exploring the healing, creative, wild and spiritual aspects of lucidity in a small, relaxed group by the ocean, join me on one of my lucid dreaming retreats. For more information, see my website or write to deepluciddreaming@gmail.com. This concludes The Art of Lucid Dreaming by Claire R. Johnson, Ph.D., narrated by Corey James. Copyright 2020 by Claire R. Johnson, Ph.D. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Llewellyn Worldwide Limited and was produced in the year 2021 by Tantor Media Incorporated, a division of Recorded Books, which holds the copyright thereto. Please visit tantor.com for more information on our growing library of unabridged audiobooks.